Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Where the fuck is my chat? Okay. Well, they should be there actually. Uh, let's see. Round two. There you are. Okay. I thought we'd lost chat. That would make me really fucking irritated. Okay. Wow. Whew. Okay. I'm probably not going to stream very long today, but I want to do something. I want to finish reading that Hezbollah Syria article. I don't know if it's just like a change in the weather and shit, but my God, I've just been so drained the last couple of days. But we also have job to do. Big job. Okay. You're going to talk about the IDF attacking UN. I'm not going to do any contemporary. I'm not going to do any fucking current news today. What happened to the PV interview? Oh, it's Saturday. Saturday. Short 6-hour stream chat. It's pretty unlikely. Sorry. Like, I'm not doing nothing. I've been really, for some reason, I've decided to learn, like, for some reason, I've decided to improve my sight reading on the piano, which means learning a whole bunch of easy shit to ramp up to it. But honestly, kind of enjoying it. Just a little keyboard and chill nonsense. But can't do that forever. Oh, Pierce content. Palestinian ambassador versus Ehud Barak. You thought no stream today. You thought wrong, dick. Okay. But they're not talking to each other. All right, fuck that. Security Council meeting? Don't care. Don't give a shit. Dustin debated Gideon Levy. How many of these Israel Palestine debates have we watched now? I feel like there's nothing new to be said. It's at least not to me. Oh, hello, Prometheus, Mr. Taliban. I guess I could argue with you. That might perk me up. Is that what we're at? Are we really stooping to another fucking another Prometheus debate? Is that really is that where we are, chat? Why do I have no drama in the title of my stream? And then this fucking psycho Houthi supporter comes on. Uh, I don't know how many Discord alts he's gonna have to make to get in, but God, why am I so tired? What the fuck? How Sundowners scream at him in Arabic. It worked on Dylan. For Dylan. Oh, the Lebanese guy. What? I thought everyone in the Middle East loved the Axis. I thought it was so obvious that what they do for the Middle East is good. You know, I thought it was just so apparent. I mean, I'm struggling to see the results. You know, I see some rockets go to Israel. Most of them get intercepted. They get into wars with Arabs and kill a lot more of them. But you know, I thought the Axis was like base. You know, just a given. You know, they resist. It's all that resistance. Where you know they resist. Hmm. Ooh. I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there's anything that's this in depth for Hezbollah's entire thing during the Syrian civil war, because this paper is really good. Learning a lot from it, but it's from 2014, and obviously the war started in like 2011. So, and it didn't stop after 2014. It isn't because like ISIS wasn't even a thing really. They weren't center stage at this point. They're not even featured really in this paper because they were so small back then. But like 2015, 16, when they started appearing on everyone's news feeds, this paper just misses that completely. So I don't know. Oh, we're actually pretty much. I forgot. I thought there were 20 more pages left of this. There's not. There are 6 pages left because the rest is footnotes. Okay. Huh. Short stream ahead. Is Prometheus here? Yeah, I mean, he came in chat on an alt and said loser at the beginning. That Einskillen, whatever, but he stopped talking now, so. It's okay. I'm not against the short stream today. Not against it. Ooh. Okay. You're against a short stream. Well, I don't even know why I started stream today. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it was a good idea. I'm really not with it right now. Okay, let's see. But I can read. I'm capable of that. Okay. 20. The fuck? Ooh. Hezbollah's organization in Syria. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I don't have issues or anything. Don't worry. I'm just tired. Hmm. Okay. Tis but a flesh wound. Any comments on the new Smotrich clip thingy? Did he say or do something crazy again? I don't know. Okay. Let's just read. Fuck. Okay, wait. What? Hezbollah's organization in Syria. Hezbollah has retained a high degree of secrecy about the size, organization, and activities of its fighters in Syria. Still, it is possible to assess the group's involvement in Syria from the open source accounts of Hezbollah's presence referenced in the narrative above. Estimates on the size of Hezbollah's contingent in Syria vary widely. Opposition claims tend to inflate the size of the Lebanese militant group's presence in Syria. Hezbollah's sources tend to play down their numbers in Syria while exaggerating the size of their military force in Lebanon to deter Israel. What is evident is that Hezbollah's Syrian commitment has grown in absolute terms over the last 12 months as the group has taken on greater combat and training roles in more places across the country. You're going to cover the latest Anna centrist news. What's she doing now? No, no drama, no nonsense. Welcome to the no drama zone. Did you see the sign at the entrance that said the Anna Kasparian React content zone? I didn't. Fuck. It's not there. It's not my business. French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius said that his country's intelligence service estimated there were 3,000 to 4,000 fighters from Hezbollah operating in Syria by late May 2013. Israeli security sources estimated between 4,000 and 5,000 fighters in June 2013. Regional security officials told Reuters in September 2013 that there were between 2,000 and 4,000 Hezbollah fighters in Syria, and that this included both elite fighters and reservists. If these numbers are correct, this is a sizable commitment for a force that has roughly 5,000 active fighters and 15,000 reservists. Hezbollah has utilized its active and reserve personnel to sustain this commitment. This has lessened the strain on the group's active duty force while giving reservists valuable combat experience. Hezbollah also rotates fighters into and out of Syria at intervals. These rotations grew longer as the fighting intensified. Initially, the duration for fighters in Syria was 7 days. Rotations were extended to 20 days during the offensive in Al Qasr, and by the end of 2013, Hezbollah fighters deployed from Lebanon on month-long rotations. Okay. The fighters, reservists in 2013. This is in both countries or in Syria? French. Oh, no. Rough estimates of, so 3,000 to 5,000. Area around 2013 to 2014. Okay. Intervals. Seven days, then 20. Month. Okay. The lengthening deployments were likely an effort to relieve some of the burden of Hezbollah's growing battlefield presence. It is also probably a practical move to avoid the disruption caused by rotating units in the middle of clearing operations. It is unclear how these extended deployments will continue, but it is likely that Hezbollah will seek to shorten them as soon as battlefield conditions warrant. Oh, there he is. Do I really want to talk to this guy? You want Sundowner to do it. Is he even here? Title says no drama. Yeah, I know, but the fucking biggest drama nutter on the internet decided to come in. I'll think about it, okay? I'll just think about it. Give me a minute. How long is this section? Okay, it's until here. Okay. Okay. It is also probably a practical move to avoid the disruption caused by rotating units in the middle of clearing operations. It is unclear how these extended deployments will continue, but it is likely that Hezbollah will seek to shorten them as soon as battlefield conditions warrant. The location and scope of Hezbollah's involvement has evolved as the result of several factors. The religious importance of the Sayyida Zainab shrine was a driver of Hezbollah's early involvement, but other considerations have taken greater priority. When Hezbollah decided in the spring of 2013 that it could not allow Assad to fail in Syria, the group effectively committed to operating in areas not directly related to its own security. Consequently, Hezbollah has moved beyond training and defensive missions and now conducts offensive operations on behalf of the Syrian regime. Over the last year, the group has led large-scale offensive in areas that are mostly directly related to its own security, namely areas along the border like Al-Qusayr and Kalamun. But it has also operated further afield in Syria, such as in Aleppo or Deraa provinces, albeit in smaller numbers. As mentioned earlier, Hezbollah brings important capabilities to the fight, and this too has widened the geographic scope of Hezbollah's involvement. Hezbollah has played an integral role in the regime's ability to clear urban terrain in Damascus, Homs, and Al-Qusayr, and to conduct counterinsurgency operations in the mountain of Kalamun. There are different ways that Hezbollah operates at the tactical level in Syria. First, Hezbollah fighters train NDF paramilitaries at military bases across Syria. As previously discussed, this training has proved instrumental in cultivating a light infantry force that can help the regime hold cleared terrain. Hezbollah fighters have also augmented Syrian forces on the battlefield. One way they do this is as advisors and trainers for the Syrian military and paramilitary forces, either in an embedded or partnered capacity. Hezbollah fighters have also led units comprised of Iraqi Shia militants, especially in Damascus. Often, Hezbollah forces are far better trained, disciplined, and experienced than their Syrian or Iraqi counterparts. Hezbollah contributions as advisors. Far better trained, disciplined, and than their Syrian or Iraqi counterparts. Hezbollah fighters improve combat effectiveness when partnered with less capable Syrian units. One fighter described this effect. When we first started helping the Syrians, it was true they had big problems with their army. They had no skill, no discipline, no leadership. Now, the men they have left have learned a lot and are very serious fighters. They've become more like Hezbollah. Both Syrian and Iraqi fighters have also benefited from the much-needed morale boost that Hezbollah fighters provide. At times, Hezbollah does not simply offer advice, it issues orders. For example, during the fighting in Homs, Hezbollah commanders were even given tactical control over small units of Syrian soldiers. Sometimes also gives orders. For example, in Homs, commanders had tactical soldiers. This may be a more common occurrence. An unnamed Syrian officer in a presidential guard unit stated that whenever we are fighting with Hezbollah, they take command and we provide logistics. Okay? Syrian officer. In the case of Al-Qusayr, Hezbollah operated as the main military force. Hezbollah planned and led the offensive in which large numbers of Hezbollah fighters operated as cohesive units. The Syrian military role is limited to logistical artillery and aerial support. Yet, Al-Qusayr proved more than the exception than the rule, and is more common for Hezbollah to operate in conjunction with Syrian and Iraqi forces. A Hezbollah fighter who fought in Al-Qusayr and Damascus summed up Hezbollah's approach in an interview with a Lebanese journalist in October. He said, "Whether Hezbollah leads certain operations or not depends on the nature of the terrain in battle. In a recent battle in the suburbs of Damascus, we fought alongside the Iraqi Abu Fadl Abbas Brigade and led the onslaught. In other operations, we handled the whole process from the reconnaissance to the cleanup work. However, the Syrian Arab Army, which operated previously as a conventional army, has now received training in guerrilla warfare. Its men are now handling the onslaught on many fronts. At the tactical level, Hezbollah exercises command and control over its fighters in Syria. Hezbollah's casualties have included a number of field commanders. Among them were a handful of senior Hezbollah operatives, including one veteran who was captured by Israel in 1991 and held for 14 years until his release in a prisoner swap in 2004. But the coordination of air and artillery with infantry movement also suggests that Hezbollah command and control is closely linked to the Syrian armed forces which control these resources. Hezbollah also coordinates closely with Syrian and Iranian commanders at the operational and strategic level. The IRGC Quds Force and Syrian Military High Command operate headquarters in Damascus, where they coordinate operations across the country. A senior Hezbollah commander is also co-located at this headquarters, along with a coordinator for Iraqi Shia militants. Close coordination with Syrian and Iraqi commanders, IRGC Quds Force, Very High Command, operate headquarters alongside senior. Soleimani has shaped the strategy in Syria at the highest levels, though he is not present day to day. This may be a role filled by General Hamidani, who has played an integral part formulating strategy and directing operations in Syria during 2013 and early 2014. The identity of the senior most Hezbollah commander in Syria is unknown. It is possible that Mustafa Badr al-Din, who replaced Imad Muknieh, at the head of Hezbollah's security apparatus following the latter's death in 2008, or Talal Hamia, the head of Hezbollah's Unit 910, are involved in high-level coordination in Syria. More information about dynamics within this headquarters is not available in the open source, yet the results of the coordination are evident enough on the battlefield. The strategy of prioritized and sequenced offensives adopted at the beginning of 2013 successfully shifted battlefield momentum in the regime's favor. Okay. Fuck this reading bullshit, right? Why would we read when we can't just talk to crazy people on the internet? Okay. What do you want?
Yo.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, do you hear me? Oh, wait. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, so how's the favorite Kamalist doing? Just a favorite wannabe white boy.
I am white. Partially.
You're not. Oh, well, you're half white?
Yeah.
I
Why do you
didn't
think I
know,
ended up in
what do you
Scotland?
call it? I don't know, but I thought your family immigrated to Scotland.
No, one of them's from Scotland.
Okay, that's good. I'm pretty sure one of them, never mind. I didn't even care about
you didn't find the parental details that you were digging up my information, eh?
I wasn't digging out your information. All I know is just you're a Zionist shill. Anyway, so here's my problem with you, man. You think that because you're Lebanese or Iranians, by being as much Westernized as they can, basically being pro trans rights or pro LGBTQ or pro democracy and etc., that would be the way to freedom and respect. So that's my problem with you.
I
And
don't
like
know if
you're
that's
just
the way
like I
to
think
freedom and respect, but it's probably better than being a vessel of Iran's imperialism, no?
Iran is helping them out. Like what the fuck do you mean? Like you're already under vassalage of the Americans and the Israelis. Iran is just like as same as the Iranians. So basically they're helping me out. When Israel, do you support not Iran or Syria helping out Lebanon when Israel invaded in the 1980s or 70s?
They can help to get Israel out, but since Israel left, I don't know why you needed Iran and Iran's fucking proxies to fire at Israel for no fucking reason.
For no
Look
fucking
what's
reason,
happened
huh?
to Lebanon now. Like, yeah, Hezbollah, for some reason, we're like, okay, well, I mean, we got the occupation out, but again, we don't care
Mhm.
about the occupation of Lebanon. We care about the occupation of Palestine from the river to the sea. So we're just going to keep on firing shitty rockets at them that can't do shit. Meanwhile, they know everything about us. They've been listening to our walkie talkies for the last 9 years. They know where Nasrallah is. They can bomb him at any point. One day, of course, they fucking bugged their pagers. They finally decide, I guess, that they're fed up of getting harassed by those rockets. They decide to take Hezbollah on. They push their shit in for like 2 weeks, and now they're ramming through the entire south. And it's like, wow, how is that helping Lebanon? That's not helping Lebanon at all. That's just Iran using South Lebanon as its fucking playground to pick a fight that they're never going to win.
Well, let me tell you, Alex. So what do you suppose? Like they just go and kiss like Ehud Barak's ass like you did?
I never spoke to Ehud Barak. Can you hang
What's his
on?
name?
We go one thing at a time, okay?
Okay.
Don't talk about what you think I'm doing, okay? Let's just talk about what you want. Do you think Hezbollah, who are they helping by
Hmm.
attacking Israel? What does that do?
Sooner or later, that fight was going to happen anyways. Let me tell you this:
Do
like,
you think
this
sorry,
sooner.
do you think they helped Lebanon by doing what they're doing?
Yes, I think they helped
You
Lebanon.
think
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah?
because
By
yeah,
right now is that paying
yeah.
off? You think they're like winning a prize like for their games or what?
Well, look, we'll see how the war ends. Like, okay, so for right now, actually, let me ask you a question. Like, who are you for anyway? Like, I mean, like, what do you what do you tell Lebanese people right now? The Lebanese Christian people, what do you tell them right now? Do you tell them they should like back in the day join with Israel, like, and create the South Lebanese army again? Do you tell them, oh, fight with your fellow brothers and whether they be Sunni or Shia, and then like to kick out the invaders? What is your what is your support right now? Is it for Israel or is it for
It's
Lebanon?
not what you said. That's not my support.
No, 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 I'm just asking you. Like I'm asking you, what is your who you for right now? Is like your country is getting invaded, your relatives are being killed, yeah. So at this point, a moment,
Have any of my relatives been killed right now?
I look. Well, I don't know. I mean, you have to look at extended family. I don't know. Probably, like, do you know all your relatives? Like, I mean, all your bloodline in Lebanon.
I I know my relatives like close enough. Yeah, I don't think we've heard of any deaths yet. But I mean, unless you've, I don't know how far you've been digging into my life. So maybe you know someone
No,
that I don't
I'm
who
just
died.
no.
No,
Look,
I'm pretty sure my
I'm
family's
just.
fine. But thanks for the concern. Uh, so my position on
Yeah,
Lebanon is that Lebanon, regardless of whatever mistakes people made during the French Mandate and how shit they were at drawing board and everything, Lebanon was always going to be a multicultural nation. Okay, that's how the board. That's the deal they were given with the Bekaa and the South, as well as Mount Lebanon. They were given a multicultural nation. The only way to make a multicultural nation work is if you share power in a way that is not
that's them
discriminatory
asking my
towards
guy.
any side. They failed to do that. I
That's
wouldn't say they should bring with fucking Israel and the South Lebanon army and try to establish some Christian dominated bullshit. That was obviously a failure. Yeah, Lebanon needs to function as a multicultural society. It
but who
helps
are
if you're
you
not
for
at
in the
war
war?
with your neighbors. So I don't really know how fighting with Israel
Okay, but
helps in that endeavor, but you know.
sorry, I'm sick. But now there's a war though. So who are you for?
Well, why is there a war? Why is Lebanon at war with Israel right now?
I'm not asking you why is there a war. I'm
No,
asking you who you for
you
right now.
answer. Why is Lebanon at war with Israel? Whose decision was that?
So after you answer, look, look,
You're in
look what I
my
mean. There's a
house now, my friend. Whose
look. Oh, there's been like
whose
what
fault is that
decades
that
of
Lebanon
history.
is at war with Israel right now? Who made that
There's been
decision?
decades of history. Okay, so look, the Arab
Why
resistance to
can't you?
begin
Why
with,
can't you
look,
answer? You support it. Just say
I'm
Hezbollah. Yeah, my friends Hezbollah were like they
I'm
were mad about the genocide in Palestine, so they fired rockets at Israeli soldiers and Israeli villages and towns. Right? Just say that. If you support
yeah,
it,
that's
why
what
would
I'm
you
trying
try to?
to
Why were you struggling to
say.
answer the question?
I'm answering your question right now. The Arab resistance should keep going on. Like whether it's Muslim or Arab resistance, the neighbors should be going on. This like the Zionism colonialist state and the Zionist supremacy would have ended a long time ago if the Arabs were in cahoots with one another and in communion with one another, whether it's Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, or Syria, whatever. Like all of them, Saudi Arabia, all of them together, and would have put in the supremacy of Israel.
Yeah,
Now the
fifth
only
time
reason
lucky. Yeah,
yeah, huh?
fifth time lucky.
Whatever. Like, look, the only like Israel is going to fall sooner or later. Like that, like all
How much
colonial.
trial and error do you need to go through with other people's lives before you realize this shit is not worth it? I'm sorry, those people,
Freedom is
that Jewish population in Israel is not going anywhere. You understand? You can't chase them out. They will fight to the very last fucking Jew, okay, until the last person drops the last bit of blood in the street. Why is that worth it to you? I know why it's worth it to you. It's because you're a fucking spectator. Your family is not the ones that get bombed when Israel fights back against rockets being fired at them. That's why it's okay for you to cheerlead, okay?
I'm from Yemen. The fuck do you mean? The fuck do you mean? I'm from Yemen. The fuck do you mean? Fuckface.
What do
I
you
have
mean?
family in Yemen.
What is Yemen is fucking miles away from Israel. What are you talking about?
No, are we getting bombed as well?
Yeah, why is Yemen getting bombed by Israel? Yemen's got problems with Saudi. Yemen didn't need to have any fights with Israel, right? The Houthis didn't need to have fights with Israel.
It's the same fucking alliance. It's this fucking same alliance between USA, Saudi Arabia, and like Israel, like and all of that. Like so, basically, what I'm trying to say is, until freedom is reached, until consensus is reached, until Israel has been humbled and say, look, we're not an imperialist like South Africa. Then that should be reached until what happens with South Africa happens with Israel. Then the fight will continue going on until freedom is reached. So basically,
sorry. Just so you understand, you know full well that what's happened with South Africa is never happening in Israel. Not least because neither side wants it. Israelis don't want it, and Palestinians don't want it. Neither side wants one state for two people. Neither side wants that.
I'm asking you right now, boy. Like, who do you support in this fight? Because, like, this is your problem. This is the problem with your kind of people. You're not either for one side. You're too afraid to say who you support right now, even though your country's getting invaded. Your Israelis and Lebanese are fighting. You're not saying.
I mean, I'd like Lebanon to be governed by one government with one army. That would be quite nice.
Right now, when Lebanese and Israelis are killing each other, who you support?
No, wait, hang on. Do you think this is a fight between Lebanon and Israel or between Hezbollah and Israel? Yeah, I don't like the fucking Iranian proxy in Lebanon fucking about and making the rest of the country pay for it. Fuck those guys.
So you support Christians to side with Israel and then rise up. Say it then. Say it, motherfucker. Just say it. Like say you support, even though like Israel just bombed a church, like a 1,000-year-old church, and just fucking devastated. Like that would be never recovered again. That was a 1,000-year-old church. Now you're saying, you're supporting Israel.
No, I don't think I want Christians to fight alongside Israel. I don't think that's the best idea. Like
exactly. So this is my problem with you, man. Like number one, you're too much of a coward. Like at least Tommy Robinson, another Israeli shill. At least he's honest about it. He's like, yeah, man, I'll fight for Israel. I'll die for Israel. So, even that's your problem. You're never for anybody. Basically, that's your.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm more for people surviving than you are. Just so you understand, right? You are the one who is happy to throw. You're the one who is happy to have literally fucking hundreds of thousands or even millions of Arabs just getting thrown against the wall until something hopefully sticks and damages Israel a little bit.
When there's a war going on, nobody can depend on you. You can't support anybody. How can you be a political activist if you don't have a strong, firm backbone to support anything? You don't support the fucking Israelis and you don't support your own people. Like who the fuck are you, man? Like you don't support anybody. At least, like I said, traitorous dogs like Mahayar Tusi,
Okay, stop. You're rambling. You're not going to make any point in this fucking. You're too emotional. Okay, you're too emotional. You need to be a fucking man and just calm down. Okay, you don't have that much skin in this game. Okay, because you're in the West. You're not the one whose fucking relatives are getting bombed right now. So don't worry. Okay, it's okay.
Let me tell you,
You
let me tell you my
relax.
fucking story,
We're
man. Let
here
me tell
all
you.
evening. Okay, if you don't let me speak, there's no point. Okay. You want to
Okay,
know
go
what
ahead.
I
Speak.
stand for? I can tell you what I stand for. The problem with you is that you find it really impossible to understand that it's like when you've got 5 different fucking armies, it's possible that that each of these armies is like wrong on something. If you want to know what I want is for Lebanon to have its government and its borders and one army and it to be at peace and normalized with Israel. That's what I want. I don't want Lebanon to fight with Israel. I don't think they need to. I don't think there's any fucking point in them doing it. No one benefits from them doing it. That's what I want. Is that a position
That's
to you
hard
or
to do when
no?
they invaded your country. That's hard to do when they invaded your country multiple times. That's hard to do when they were bombing the country multiple times. That's hard to do
Why?
when they were going
Why?
into the raid.
Why? Why?
That's
Why? Why did Israel invade Lebanon in 78?
because there was Palestinians there.
No.
Are you not know?
Wait, because there was Palestinians there. Anything else?
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that
Yeah, I know.
sentence? What were those Palestinians doing? What was the PLO doing in 78?
Good for them. They were doing cross raid. They were trying to liberate their country from
So why
Lebanon.
did you leave that out, you slimy fucking cunt? Why did you leave out that they literally crossed the border and murdered fucking civilians in buses? Why wouldn't you say that? You're the coward.
I'm not the coward.
Because Palestine, because the PLO goes into
resistance.
fucking Lebanon and decides to turn like whatever part of that country that they can into its little fucking launch pad so they can bring the country into a war with Israel. That's what they did. They launched border raids and then they paid the price for it. They played a stupid game and they won a stupid price for it.
You're the kind of guy, like in the 1940s, if Anne Frank and her family came to your house, you would kick him out and sell him out to the fucking Nazis.
No,
yes.
I think the Palestinians in Lebanon, excuse me, did Anne Frank try to start a fucking military base in the house of a fucking German family or a Dutch family, wherever she was?
Whatever, the French resistance. If the French resistance
just so you know, okay, I think the Palestinians in Lebanon should have been given citizenship, but you know.
But yeah, but like, okay, there's French resistance fighters in your place, so and then that means you're in trouble. That's what it is. Anyway,
well, that's because hang on. The French resistance were fighting a regime that was trying to conquer the entire fucking continent. I don't know when the PLO arrived in Lebanon, which part of Lebanon was Israel trying to conquer? None of it. Exactly. It's not the fucking same thing, you fucking retard. Jesus Christ.
It's called camaraderie, man. It's called camaraderie. It's called supporting your
support for what? Support for what goal? What was the PLO's goal? So you think the Lebanese people should have just like joined the PLO in arms against Israel?
Freedom and anti-colonialism, like the people that are fighting in South Africa, like the people that are fighting in Angola, there are people that are fighting in Algeria against French colonialism. That same thing about Western colonialism. So.
Except Israel is not a standard Western colonial state, right? You understand that most Israeli Jews are non-white. They're not Western. Did you know that?
It was started by Westerners. It was started by Westerners, right? Was it like what's Zionism? Zionism is an Eastern philosophy.
Can you just acknowledge, please, that the majority of Israeli Jews right now are non-white?
Well, yeah,
Can you also acknowledge that they don't come from a single colonial nation like colonial France or colonial Britain? And the idea that these guys are going to go anywhere, like they're going to return to France like the fucking Pied Noir, that's not happening either, right? Israelis are not going anywhere. You acknowledge that? Can you acknowledge that they stay there or they die?
No, like I don't acknowledge.
So you can't acknowledge that. That's okay, because apparently European Jews had so many other places to go in the 1930s and 40s. The world was their oyster, you know? Shit.
No, but like if they came into a place as a refugee, then be as a fucking refugee. Don't try to take it over and try to become a Western supremacist in that land. That's basically what they have become. They have become Western supremacists. They talk about kill all the Arabs. Yeah, have you listened to the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast or what they said about the Palestinians and Arabs in general?
Yeah, that famously massive fucking podcast that is very representative of the average. Yes. What are you talking about?
The guy was working with Benjamin Netanyahu's like office, man. He was his photographer or something like that. He was his media personality, something like that, for a while. So one of the guys, and so that is pretty indicative, you know, like of what these Israelis say. So
again, you're trying to divert from the fact that this is a pretty small podcast, right?
It doesn't matter if it's pretty small podcast. Like the mentality is there, man. Like,
okay. So would you say the mentality is there? So if that Israeli podcast is enough for you to act as if it's representative, do you not think kill all Jews is representative then of like Hamas and Gaza? Yeah, so it's okay. Like, you don't
No,
seem to
okay, well,
understand that
let's
for better, for
hold
like
up.
for whatever the unethical practices that went on in the beginning of Zionism, which I acknowledge, you should know I've acknowledged
It's
this a
still
million
going on.
fucking
It's
times.
still going
The
on.
fact is that by the time you reach the 40s, there were two national groups living there. They seemed to have no fucking desire on either end to share the country. It just seemed like partition was the best idea. And it probably seemed like that's still the idea because Israel is not in their interest to govern people in Gaza and the West Bank. People in Gaza and the West Bank don't want to share power with fucking Israeli Jews. It just seems to make sense that you've got these two national groups and the best thing for both of them is to separate and live peacefully side by side and not fucking fight with each other for all of it. But
No, I
if
agree
you
on that
want
too.
the
I
you
agree
like,
on that.
I know the
I
endless
agree on
war
that.
is very glorious to
Yeah,
you because again, you're
no,
not the one who
no,
pays the
no,
price for it,
no,
but
no,
other people
no,
do.
I agree. I agree on that as well. I agree that they should live side by side and peacefully. But my problem, like that because the biggest obstacle to peace is Israel. That's what you don't understand. Is Israel and the Americans. Is their supremacist ideology? Is their yeah? It's their lunatic. Who like basically who hires a heifer from $500,000 from USA and then brings it to Israel because some messianic prophecy that they're going to destroy the Dome of Iraq. It's just like all the things about the Israelis, the Zionists I hear is just more lunacy. They're like similar to the black Israelites in the streets that yell like crazy shit.
Okay, so
Except
you're
these
just
are
doing emotional rambling again. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So do you understand that? Like this idea when you say live side by side together in peace and all that, you're talking about one state, right? That's what you mean.
no.
You're not
I'm
a two
talking about two
stater.
states.
No, you're pro
Two
two
state.
states.
Yeah, I'm for two states too. Yeah.
Okay.
But the biggest obstacle to that is the Israelis.
Unfortunately, statehood was rejected like 3 or 4 times by Palestinian leaders since like the late
Here you
30s.
go,
So
man.
I don't know. Fuck.
Here you guys are blaming the victims. Anyway, okay, so I have a question for you, all right? Your boy Destiny said that Western culture and us Westerners are better than Arabs and Muslims.
I'm
So do
sure
you
that's a
believe
very
that?
accurate representation of what he said. I
You
don't
either have
agree
to
with
vote
that if
for
that's true.
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said, man. Like,
Listen, I would
I mean,
never believe a single fucking word you say about characterizing someone else's position because you've spoken to me like 3 times now and you still can't accurately do my positions. You have to guess them and then like act surprised when I give you something different. So unfortunately, like you're very like, I don't know what your whole thing is. Like you hear something, it's like you need it to fit into this like black and white world you've built for yourself. But yeah,
no, it's
okay.
not a black and white world, man.
Anyway,
It's
let's
not a
talk about
black
my
and white
positions,
world.
okay? So what again, can you explain to me why Hezbollah is helping Lebanon by firing at Israel? You can't. They're
It's
not
helping.
helping
It's
anyone,
not a,
right? They're not
no,
helping Palestinians either, just so you know.
hold up. Jesus Christ, man, hold up. People have to realize, right, as the Middle East, as in Europe, like the EU, as a EU, they have to realize, like, that's why they're helping, like, Ukraine or fight over Russia. Like, it's one body. It's like the Middle East.
I'm just going to write my
It's
question
one
up on
body.
screen because you're not going to answer it. Okay. How
I'm
is
answering. I'm
Hezbollah's
answering right now. I'm
current
answering
action
right now
helping
because
Lebanon? Okay. Keep going.
so they're doing that because they're like we have to like for the Middle East to thrive, we have to join together. That's what it is. They have to be camaraderie like the EU. There has to be a NATO force like in the Middle East to be not to fuck around with, not to have the USA keep Israel ally America going in there and like hanging presidents here and there, installing coups and installing dictators here and there. So for that to happen, there needs to be camaraderie. There needs to be like same thing with with Asia. There's like there's such camaraderie. There has to be that camaraderie and that unionship of military and brotherhood, whether it's through what do you call it, through our language, through our history, through our shared culture, through etc. There needs to be that camaraderie. If there's not that camaraderie, if everybody's doing his own fucking thing, yeah, one person might be successful, like the Emirates and etc. if they have oil, but the other ones would suffer. So if you're not looking at that and you don't have a global like what do you call it, a regional mindset and a global mindset, you can't do that. Even as a what do you call it, as a former representative of Irish Palestinian Solidarity Campaign, as one of its former leaders, that it's not a fight for it's not a Islamic fight, it's not a what do you call it, it's not an Arab fight, it's a global fight for freedom. So because we think globally.
Okay, so you're just fantasizing. You didn't answer my question. You've got a
told you right.
fantasy. Your fantasy is that for some reason you think Hezbollah will inspire Arab unity, the famously elusive thing for the last 75 years against Israel. Try again. Tell me how they are helping. If you think they're not, you can just admit that. That would be much easier, and we can move on to the next part of the conversation.
Who kicked out Israel? Was it your Christian buddies? Was it
Now you're
your
getting
Christian
upset
buddies?
because you can't answer the question because you know they're not helping. Now
I
you're just going to
told you,
insults because you're really
before,
upset
I
that
told you
you've
that's why
realized
because
that Hezbollah actually they turned out to be a bit of a fucking paper tiger, didn't they? They just got their shit rammed in for the last couple of weeks, even though they were supposed to be the jewel of the Axis in the Levant.
The war is not over. The war is not over.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe after losing Nasrallah and their fucking communications and 1,500 fighters and the pager blast and getting all their fucking airstrikes on their locations. Yeah, maybe tomorrow they'll pull out the fucking. What are you talking about? You're so full of fucking cope. You think these guys are the ones who are going to inspire pan-Arab unity? Sorry, Hezbollah have spent the last fucking 10, 15 years murdering fucking Syrians. You think these are the guys who are going to inspire pan-Arab unity? Arabs fucking hate Hezbollah. That's why there are parties in Idlib celebrating Nasrallah's death. I'll ask you again, how are they helping? How are they helping Lebanon or Palestine?
Jabhat al-Nusra's party in Idlib. Yeah, that's Jabhat al-Nusra.
How are they helping Lebanon or Palestine?
That's Jabhat. No, look, you just said Arabs in in Idlib. That's Jabhat al-Nusra. That's Al-Qaeda, man. That's so
really?
they're celebrating.
You think Jabhat al-Nusra are the only faction in Idlib? No, exactly. Exactly. No, because even before Al Qaeda got involved in the Syrian civil war and started to become prominent there, Hezbollah was still fighting. They were fighting before ISIS took a big role. They were fighting before Al Qaeda took a big role because their goal was not to help. Was not to fight ISIS or Al Qaeda. Their goal was to help Assad stay in power because he is part of the axis. He is part of the supply chain between Iran, Syria, and Lebanon. That's why they did it.
Yeah, and
can you admit that? Can you admit that Hezbollah were besieging towns before Al Qaeda and ISIS were high on the stage? Okay.
Yeah, because those other guys, were Western puppets.
Oh, so you're trying to use Al Qaeda because it's more rhetorically or optically good for you to say than pro-Western secular Free Syrian Army people. Okay.
Look,
do you think the chemical weapons attacks were real?
No, dude, I was in prison in Turkey, all right?
Do you think the chemical weapons attacks were real?
Let me tell you the story. Okay, I was in prison in Turkey with ISIS and Jabhat al-Nusra. Okay,
yeah, so you're also hanging out with the Taliban. Should I be concerned the fact that you've been going around universities and telling people about me, even though you're in Afghanistan hanging out with the fucking Taliban? Is that am I in trouble? Am I gonna fucking find you outside my house one day?
No, I'm not. You're not gonna find me. I don't give a fuck about you like that, man. You idiot.
You care enough about me to hand out fucking documents warning other students about me.
Yeah, because as part of Leia, because we need to call up people shows like you.
Why did you use a picture of me that had that was photoshopped? Why did you?
I don't know that was photoshopped.
The fucking GigaChat smile.
I don't know that was photoshopped. Anyway, let me finish my fucking point. Anyway, Anyway, I was captured by the Turkish army while I was on the Kurdish side of the border, and look what I was abandoned by the American government. And so they sold me out to the Turks. So that is why I am the way I am today, because the Americans don't really care about us. It doesn't matter if you're one of their allies or anything like that. They'll fucking sell you out. And that's what I told you about yourself as well when I sent you the video of what's his name. Of Eli Hubeka, one of the leaders of the Christian militias that were allied with Israel, and one of the biggest people, the Phalanges, that did the Sabra and Shatila massacres.
Yeah, really bad guy, yeah.
Yeah, but he did that on behalf of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He did that on behalf of Israel. So, Sabra and Shatila was planned by the Israelis, but was done by their slaves, the Christian and Lebanese slaves. But at the end of the day, when he was about to go to the ICC criminal court, they bombed him and they killed him. The Israelis killed him. So that's what you get for being a good Israeli dog. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I was an American dog at one point in my time. It's a good thing
I don't support a Christian IDF alliance. Can you stop with this straw man? I've done this 3 times now. You're still not answering. Okay. That's a really good dodge of the question. I'm really sorry that you were fucking traumatized in prison and you've processed it in the most unhealthy way possible. But can you please explain to me how Hezbollah's military action is helping Lebanon or Palestine?
Like I said, I was not. It was not the problem with me was I was betrayed by the American government, and I was tortured on behalf of the American government. Okay, that's the fucking problem of me. So even though we was on the same side,
It's great. I'm
so
not
that was
telling you
my
to.
fucking
You know what?
problem.
I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm not like saying that you should support the American government. Okay? Can you please explain to me why Hezbollah's military action helps in Lebanon and Palestine?
Well, what do you want us to do? Like, so yeah, there's resistance, and like hopefully, like the
You can't
resistance
just say,
will
"Oh,
find
it's
out.
resistance." Like I'm asking you, how does it help? How does it improve anyone's position in this region? Oh, it's resistant. They're fighting. Come on.
Well, I mean, what do you want? There's
You
going to be war.
know.
I can like the
Is
war.
it
The war
like
is supposed to go on.
I I
Well,
feel
okay,
like this is like your
what is your
find Jesus moment. Like you I don't know.
what is
When you, like, what is it like when you're sitting there? Because I know you're sitting there thinking right now, okay, wow, I actually Hezbollah, the fucking jewel of the resistance in the Middle East, the big strong guys who fought Israel in 2006 and all this shit. Oh wait, I'm thinking about it now, and I actually can't think of one fucking thing that they're doing militarily that helps in that region. Isn't that crazy? That for all the support and for all the cult of personality around Nasrallah and the glory of the axis of resistance, I as a fucking advocate can't think of one thing that those guys are doing militarily to help in the region. That's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Are you not thinking that? Are you not thinking like, whoa,
yeah?
maybe these
Oh,
guys
hold
are
up. Okay,
actually just full of
give you,
shit?
let me give you an example. Okay,
Uh,
number one, they kicked out Israel out of Lebanon. Number
I'm not
two,
asking you
they
what they did
started.
in 19 fucking 99, okay, in 2000. I'm asking you what they're doing now, this war. What have they done to help anyone in that region? They're not pushing an occupation out of Lebanon. They actually brought an occupation into Lebanon. I don't know if you noticed that.
That fight was going to happen sooner or later. So basically, like
Oh,
let it
okay.
go.
So
Let
Israel
it
would
go.
have gone storming through the south of Lebanon, even if Hezbollah were doing nothing.
Well, like I mean, like
You know that's not true. You know you're full of shit. Stop.
was an ongoing battle. Okay, so you think like basically, oh, this is what I'm fucking talking about. Like you think by being gay, by being pro-trans, by being by being like supplicant to the Westerners, like that you'll be a good dog, and then like everything. But maybe you like being a good dog, but that's you though. But not everybody wants to be like that though. Like not everyone wants to be a good dog and be petted by the Israeli masters and say, "Oh, good boy," and give being good Scooby snacks.
Okay, let's
People
go
have
back
too
to the
much pride
question
for
then,
that.
because you're going on an emotional outburst again. That's what you're very
Yeah,
emotional. Okay, you're very sensitive. You're very sensitive. Okay, you're being very
but,
feminine right now. Okay, just so you know.
I'm not being feminine.
Can you
At
tell
least I
me?
have the courage
Do you
to stand
sincerely
for.
think, and this should be an easy question for you to answer because you're implying it very strongly, do you think that had Hezbollah disarmed and just governed their own population throughout the last year, you think Israel would have still invaded them?
Yeah,
You
Israel cannot be trusted. Yes,
just like
yes,
randomly, right?
yes.
Why don't they, why is it that by coincidence they only seem to invade countries that are attacking them? Why haven't they attacked
No,
Jordan recently or Egypt or
what is the ultimate? Like, what is your ultimate goal as a Lebanese guy? Yeah, what is your ultimate? What is your pride?
why can't you answer these
Where's your
questions?
pride?
Like
Where's your pride? Where's your pride?
you must know. Come on, I'm trying as a human being. You know that Israel is in South Lebanon right now because Hezbollah fucked around for a year. You know that.
No, I don't know that because Israel has been fucking around with people for a long time. Look, who the fuck did that? Who the fuck supported the rebels in Syria? And they killed all those people, huh? Who the fuck supported the invasion of Iraq? Who the fuck right now is supporting Tommy Robinson and trying to like displace and kill Muslims in Europe?
You're
It's
not
like making it
really
like a
answering my
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah.
Like, fuck
Yeah,
me.
Israel is not fucking around, man. And as Muslims as well, and and as people, as
Again,
human
Israel
beings in
was.
general,
Do you
as
think
human
Do you
beings,
think Israel was okay with the invasion of Iraq for no reason? Do you think Iraq had done what Saddam Hussein was like just a peaceful fucking like neighbor of Israel? Like, what the fuck?
Like, who the fuck is going to like
Saddam fired
Israel?
scuds at Israel. He fucking spoke about how he was going to torch half of Israel with chemical weapons. Like Saddam Hussein was a fucking massive. He was the big guy against Israel at that time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Because Israel is a colonial state, and it's not supposed to be there. So Western,
Okay,
is
so
it a Western state? Yes or
that's
no?
why Israel was okay with invading Iran, with invading Iraq then. Yes.
Well, but yeah, but like,
So
but
why
they're
do you
not.
keep acting? Why did
They're
you use
not.
that as an example of Israel attacking a country for no reason? Why?
Okay, so Israel justified as well, like making or like supporting Tommy Robinson's group and
Them
the EDL and stuff
supporting
like that.
Tommy. So some people in Israel supporting Tommy Robinson has nothing to do with invading another country for no reason.
No, 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 no. Look,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Israeli
yeah. It's
government.
nothing to do with invading a country for no reason. Yes or no?
No, okay. Look, when I try to say this, okay, Israel has been what do you call fomenting, planning with the American government. The only reason, like the East and the West are not good friends is because of Israel, because they've been trying to make us fight for a long time. They don't want to address like the evils that they did. They don't want to acknowledge the bad things they did to
It's
the
Israel's
Palestinians.
fault because
They back the
Iran
land.
and Hezbollah and the Houthis and all that are making enemies all over the Arab world as well as the Western world.
No, look, that happened because like what do you call what do you call certain friends of America? They thought like they would serve America, and they tried to take on the axis of resistance, which didn't help out. So Saudi Arabia like backed off of Yemen. Other countries also backed off because they don't want to fight for Israel. They don't want to die and fight for Israel. And at least they don't want to do that. But you at least you're not honest, man. That's my problem with you, man. Like you never give me
You're
an
the
honest
one
answer.
struggling to answer questions, just so you know. I have not dodged a single question of yours. I'll give you an answer that you might not like to hear or is maybe too fucking confusing for you, but you're the one who still can't tell me how Hezbollah's action is helping Lebanon or Palestine. You're the one who can't answer that question.
I just answered your question, like but anyway.
Oh,
But
your
that's not
question
the,
was
that's
that Israel would invade anyway, so they might as well just give them a very good excuse to. That's your answer. Your answer was that Israel was going to invade Lebanon even if Hezbollah did nothing. You're so fucking dense. Like you don't believe that. You're lying to me when you say that.
My point is, look, that as people in the Middle East have suffered due to Israel. Muslim people have suffered due to Israel. We have been stunted due to Israel.
They've also suffered because of
Lebanon.
Hezbollah. Hezbollah does a really fucking good job at murdering Arabs. They're much better at it than they are at killing Israelis.
Arab dogs that are serving the American empire.
Everyone that Hezbollah. Oh, so it's okay to kill Arabs if you don't like their ideology. Okay, nice.
If you're a traitor,
bro, you hate Arabs. You understand that you are an Arab hater. You dehumanize and treat Arabs as expendable more than I have ever even been accused of. Like, dude, you are okay with this. You're okay with them just fucking throwing themselves into fucking graves in the hope that this will be the 6th attempt that we get fucking pan-Arab unity that's strong enough to take down Israel. And that's worth all these tens of thousands of people dying for that cause. You're the Arab hater. You're the ones you don't care about these people's lives. You're watching right now Lebanese villages just getting smashed the fuck up because they all had missiles inside them, and you're just like, oh yeah, well that would have happened anyways.
Look, I was the one getting tortured in prison while you're just jerking off, you fuckface. And
doesn't really contradict anything I said. Like that doesn't contradict anything I said. You see Arabs as expendable for your cause. That's what you think.
Let me tell you, man. If I had the opportunity, and
you support
if I was,
gambling with their lives, right? Because even on your terms, you're saying, "Oh, well, Hezbollah, they should do this because it might inspire pan-Arab unity. It might also result in an Israeli invasion and bombing of the fucking region that kills a bunch of civilians." So yes, you are pro-gambling. You are in favor of gambling with Arab lives.
I would rather die my feet standing. I would rather die my feet standing as an honorable person, as a man.
No, you wouldn't. You live in fucking you live in Europe. No, you wouldn't. It's not like these guys are, bro. Hezbollah are fucking probably, they'll take anyone they can get now. You've got all the opportunity in the world to go and join one of these fucking. If you're from Yemen, why don't you go and join the fucking Houthis? No, you would not rather die. You'd rather LARP on the internet and make an ass out of yourself on my stream. That's what you want to do. The thing you're doing, you understand that. You understand that the thing that you're doing is the thing that you want to do, right? It's like basic self-help.
Fuck you mean? As a political activist, I have visited many places. I've been arrested and been tortured before. So don't fucking tell me that.
As an activist, what? Handing out fucking little documents, telling people to look out for me and shit. As a political, this is your political activism, is running around handing fucking documents to Scottish students with a little GigaChat picture of me and shit. I'm the fucking problem. Yeah. You're really doing your part there, bub.
That's what I got arrested for. Yeah, fuckface. That's what I got arrested for. Anyway, so for giving up flyers of you, and back in 2017, and that's what I got tortured for by the FBI, like on behalf of the FBI. But anyway, so you don't know what you're fucking talking about, man. So and you don't know me either. Like so basically, but what I'm telling you is like I am for something. You are not for anything, and you would rather be a good dog and not live like a slave. That's what that is your point. So good for you. Be a good slave. Be a good dog. And you're not even on a slave actually. At least Mossab Hassan, what's his name, or Mossab or whatever that like
You're
son of
just
Hamas guy.
again, it's just another emotional outburst. Like you can keep saying, well, it's
That's
slavery to
not
think
okay.
that if you're going to start a war, maybe answer two questions. If you're going to start a war, one is, do I have a just cause for this war, and two, do I have a chance of winning? And you know, that's probably a good thing to ask yourself if you're about to start a war. Whereas if the top outcome, the most likely outcome of you starting a war is you'll lose and a bunch of your civilians will die with you. That's probably a war you shouldn't engage in. Yeah, that's probably I don't know if that's like a slave's position. Like that's more of a just like a basic human
What
survival position. But
was William Wallace a hero or a dog
was
or
who a
a
hero or a
coward?
dog?
Or
Who?
William Wallace, Braveheart. William
William
Wallace.
Wallace was a gangster, but okay, you don't know anything about Scottish
Okay,
history. That's okay.
everybody that like that fights against imperialism, that fights against like that stands up for his people, even though he has a weaker point,
I mean,
he's a
pro
weaker position.
Mandela, pro like yeah. I think the Cuban Revolution was justified. We don't want to get into that though, do you? Yeah. Like I said, do you have a just cause, and do you have a chance of actually achieving something? Neither of these things are true for Hezbollah.
They have a just cause. The just cause is resistance, and the just cause is freedom. The just cause
a just cause is not just saying resistance. You have to actually elaborate. Like, say, for example, if I were to say the just cause for Mandela was that there was a nation of fucking like majority black people who didn't have fucking voting rights and they deserve voting rights. That's a just cause. And they used methods that made it likely to achieve that. To the point that, you know, Mandela, he said that he wouldn't even target civilians. That was his operative, was not to even risk killing civilians as much as possible because they didn't want to disturb race relations in an equal society. Like, these are things that you consider. Whereas Hezbollah firing fucking pot shots, rockets, and missiles that you can't even fucking aim at Israeli communities because what? Like, they want like a two-state solution or what?
The ANC was fighting alongside the Cubans and the Angolans and killing the South African soldiers in Angola and then Namibia and etc.
Yeah, they fought in Angola. Yes, they fought in Angola, but in South Africa, you understand, you acknowledge that the ANC's like policy, their general rule was to not target civilians, right? And generally to sabotage. That was the standard strategy of Mandela. When they had excesses like from fucking like MK, they distanced themselves from that stuff. That's why. How many civilians died like in the 10 years of the ANC fighting? Like what, 70? Like fuck all. This is not comparable to Hezbollah.
It's not comparable to Israel too, killing 30,000 people and like, you know, talking.
I didn't say it was comparable to Israel. Focus. Take some accountability. Stop diverting every fucking criticism over to Israel.
And you stop fucking always keep defending them and like okay, this is your problem. You see, like if I was an Israeli
emotional
supporter
outburst
of yours,
again, you're not gonna you're just gonna do narrativizing with no fucking concrete arguments. But okay, go on.
If I was an Israeli supporter of yours, I would stop being an Israeli supporter because you're not man enough to come out and say, I hope like Mossab, like son of Hamas, and say, I hope Israel kills the Lebanese. I hope Israel kills Hezbollah. I hope.
Why do you think I would support that?
Because like you don't, because like you're an Israeli dog. That's why you would support that. And like, you know, you're not man enough to be to come out and say, yeah, I'm an Israeli dog. You're an Israeli dog.
Why did you say I hope they kill the Lebanese and then I hope they kill Hezbollah? Yeah, I think I think the world would be a better place without Hezbollah militarily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but you're not man enough to go there and fight though. As a Christian, you're not man enough to go in there and fight. You're not man enough to go and like, you know, to riot, to even call out your Christian.
It's like there's like two people in fucking Europe going like, yo, you're not man enough to go.
I was in the Middle East just recently. What the fuck do you mean, man?
Were you fighting in the Middle East? What were you doing there? Were you fighting?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't fighting. But,
okay, you know, so shut the fuck. I was in the Middle East recently. Okay, wow. Oh, okay.
No, look. As a person that was like injured because of my torturing as well, like I can't fight. So and then plus, you know, my fighting is through my art. That's what I'm fighting. It's through my writing. It's through my art and through my organizing my political act.
Okay, yeah, you can reassure all the fucking dead Lebanese people right now that they've got this fucking artist on Discord.
I might get killed by the Israelis too. Who knows, man? Like, you know, they've killed artists before. They killed what's the name, Najal Ali in London. They killed multiple people like that were just like, you know, just political activists.
Stop convincing yourself that you're risking your life by doing what you're doing. Like, what? Stop. Why are you doing
Who
that?
the fuck knows, man? Like, the Israelis,
Why are
they just
you
fucking kill
doing
people,
that?
man.
Why are you
They kill
seriously
journalists,
sitting there? Are you like wondering if your headset's got a fucking Israeli explosives inside it, and the Mossad's gonna like give you a little call and your phone will blow up in your ear? Are you sitting there
That's
really
what I
worrying that
man.
you're like a
They don't fucking know.
you're like high on these on the list for these people? Like that they give a fuck about you?
No, but I'm no, but they're not. They're
Okay, yeah,
mad
no,
dogs,
because
though.
you,
Like,
yeah,
they're
okay,
mad
cool.
dogs.
You're
They're
listen,
mad dogs. That's
you're
what I'm
safe
trying.
enough to be sitting on a Discord call with me. Okay, stop
No,
acting.
but what I'm
Like, why
but
are you
I'm just
posturing
giving you
about
an
this shit?
example. I'm just giving you an example. They're mad dogs. They killed what they call. They killed a Moroccan waiter in Norway. He had nothing to do with anything like that. They killed a Moroccan waiter in Norway. They killed Naji Al Ali
Yeah, and I'm
in
sure you've
England.
rigorously fact checked every fucking retarded story that you're trying to ship to me. Can we go
No,
back to my
that's
question
fine.
of why exactly
No,
Hezbollah's military actions have helped Lebanon or
no,
Palestine in the last year?
don't fuck with me, man. Like, the Lilyhammer affair was pretty known.
Can you
They
tell
were
me
arrested.
how Hezbollah's military action is helping Lebanon or Palestine right now?
We're not going back to that fucking same question again. Like
Is it because you
the
can't answer it? Is
Lilyhammer.
it because you have literally
No,
no answer, even though you full throatedly support these fucking groups? Like,
listen,
is that not maybe a
I
problem with your
already told you.
ideology? Like a
I already
weakness?
told you. I already told you. I already told you.
Well, then
We
it's
would rather
resistance.
die
That's not an
than fighting.
answer, dickhead.
We would rather die fighting. And like, at least
Oh,
you like, at least
okay.
I have an
Even
answer.
yeah, so
You
it's
are
okay
like,
to
you're not even man enough
fucking
to come out.
it's okay to store rockets in and weapons in civilian areas and dig tunnels underneath their houses because if they would rather die, why don't they just go to the front line and leave the rest of the country out of it? Why do they have to hide their shit in the middle of fucking Dahia, in the middle of Beirut, near the airport, near the
That's not
fucking like center of the town? Why do they have to do that? Eh? They'd rather
that's
other people died for their cause as well, right? Yeah, because they want to take other people with them.
that's not how the French resistance fought either, my guy. That's not how that's how guerrilla warfare works.
No,
So
wait, sorry. Guerrilla warfare makes sense when you are literally being
you go,
conquered and you have no other choice. Hezbollah had a choice. The IDF was
no,
not
they
trying
didn't
to
have a choice.
conquer Lebanon
They
in
did not
2023.
have a choice. They did not have a choice. They did not have a
Hezbollah has
choice.
no choice. They have no choice but
Yes,
to store
they have no
rockets
choice.
and
They
hide
have no choice.
underneath civilian buildings. They have no choice.
They have no choice. Yes.
Okay.
No choice.
Wow.
No choice. No choice. The resistance will go on. If
Yeah,
tomorrow,
so
if
just to
Iran
be
dies,
clear, you are
no.
anti-Arab. You hate Arabs. You think they are
I'm
fucking
an Arab.
retarded. You think they are so dense and so like two-dimensional or that they literally they have no choice but to fight with another country, with their neighbor, because what? Because it's resistance, or because they might invade them back, even though you're going to give them a much bigger push by firing rockets at them for an entire year.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's how we do.
You think
Africans
they're
defeated South Africa.
expendable. That's it. You think they're
Africans,
expendable. You think Arabs are expendable. It's not like South Africa. Stop comparing it to fucking South Africa.
I think they are shaheed. I think they are martyrs,
Yeah,
and they are
okay, yeah,
honorable people.
because your
they will go
God
to
said
heaven.
it's a good thing. Yeah, because the fucking
They
imaginary
will
guy
go
in
to
your
heaven.
head thinks it's a good idea. And that's why it's okay for you to take other people with you. Even if they don't consent to it. Is that why the French resistance did guerrilla warfare? Did the French resistance do guerrilla warfare because God told them to? Or because they were literally between fight or get fucking like holocausted? There was no impending Holocaust in Lebanon.
There's an impending Holocaust on all Muslims, man. There's an impending Holocaust on all Muslims because of Israel. There's an impending danger of all of us. Like there's an impending
Well, not
danger of
really.
Israel.
It seems like the Muslim countries that don't fight with Israel are fine. It seems like Saudi, like the Emirates, like Jordan, like Egypt. It seems like they don't really get attacked by Israel all that much at all, as long as they chill the fuck out.
Who promoted the riots in UK?
Do you think Israel
Who
did?
promoted the riots? The Israeli government was involved. Of course, the Israeli intelligence.
No, you are fucking deranged. You think the Israeli government promoted the riots in the UK? Are you kidding me?
Look, there's an Israeli propaganda, yeah? Israeli propaganda.
Chill the fuck. Hang on. Because some wacky Israelis support Tommy Robinson. You think they were the ones you think the Israeli government is aggressing on the UK? You think this is like Israeli military action against the UK, that some Israelis support Tommy Robinson?
My guy, the people that made the JDL, the Jewish Defense League, which is a terrorist organization, and was disbanded, and the people that make the EDL, similar as well, in the English Defense League, were part of Unit 800. And? Unit 800, you know what that is? Yeah, so Unit 8, that's a spy.
Were part. So yeah, you're talking again. You think that Israel, you think the state of Israel is literally like the government is trying to start riots in the UK.
No, they're trying to what they call, they're trying to demonize Muslims in the Western world. So they put up a fake propaganda. They support Geert Wilders. Actually one of his MP was a what do you call it?
Why
Israeli.
are you using it? I know you don't believe this argument. I know you don't believe it. Does that mean like the UK and the America should like go on a joint military operation to destroy Russia? Because Russian disinformation affects our politics and they start riots in the UK with their disinformation? Like, Russians had a much bigger role to play. The Russian government-backed people, mind you, actually government-backed, RT-backed people, actually did contribute to the riots in the UK and to fighting in America. You think that means we should start a fucking war? We should go and like fucking try to invade Russia and launch rockets at Moscow?
In the UK. What riots in the UK? The racist riots? No,
yes.
That was not Russia.
Yes, there was a Russian. Yes, one of the first ones. Channel 3 Now was a Russian organization.
No, it
yes.
wasn't. You're fucking full of shit, man. That's your buddies, Israelis, man. That's your Israeli buddies, man.
Channel 3 Now was Russian. It was not Israeli.
Channel 3, look, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know what you're talking about Channel 3 Now. But
well,
anyway,
if you don't know what I'm talking about, why are you denying it?
Well, I'm denying it because
you're denying it because you don't even know what I'm saying. You don't even know where you are. You're literally, there's one rake in the fucking field and you're just face planting on top of it. What are you doing?
The former KGB agents came to UK, and founded a group full of racist UK people that are racist against Muslims, and do Russian KGB agents like
RT people do. They did that in America. They did that in 2016. They do it now. They have like 600 creators in America who are being investigated by the DOJ for pushing disinformation in the United States. They organized protests. They organized a BLM protest and then organized a counter protest and got them to meet in the same place. The fuck are you talking about? That doesn't mean that it gives America the right to start bombing Moscow.
That's your fucking lie. You're a fucking liar. Anyway, like that's your.
I
know
this is actually what's backed by the Department of Justice, who are much better investigating things than you are. So I'm sorry. I know this is like a bit more sophisticated than just whatever fucking dipshit Twitter threads you read that thought that Tommy Robinson was backed by the Israeli government. You fucking idiot. Stop.
No, like the people that created the JDL, Jewish Defense League, were part of the Israeli government.
Some people who used to be fucking involved with like Israeli forces like did their own thing afterwards. That doesn't mean it's sanctioned by the government. You fucking dick. Stop doing that. Stop conflating that shit.
You know what Mossad sanctions, eh? You know what Mossad sanctions? Are you fucking shitting me? They can assassinate a fucking Palestinian.
So you're just guessing. Like, so you're just yes. Thank you. You just admit you're using conjecture. Yes, you think Mossad. Again, the UK government is quite fucking. The UK government has not been like the kindest people towards Israel in this entire war. The UK government would be investigating and finding things more than what you find in your little Twitter threads if they thought that the Israeli government was fomenting riots in the UK. They've been investigating people who fomented the riots. One of the person was a Finnish, like an independent Finnish neo-Nazi. The other person was like Channel 3 Now, which was based in Russia. Like, they've already been investigating this shit. Okay? I don't know why you're trying to. Where did this conversation come from? It came because what? Because I said that the Arab and Muslim countries. Because I said that Arab and Muslim countries that don't attack Israel don't get attacked back. And you were like, oh well, Israel started riots in the UK. Come the fuck on, man.
Hold up.
Why is Israel not bombing Saudi?
Hold up, for fuck's sakes, man. Can I speak?
Why is Israel not bombing the Emirates? Why is Israel not bombing Oman? Why is Israel not bombing Kuwait? Why is Israel not bombing Jordan? Why is Israel not bombing Egypt?
Let me tell you one thing, man. Like sooner or later, the American empire.
I had no answer to that question. Oh God! But the riots in the UK might have involved like someone who is ex-Mossad retweeting Tommy Robinson.
They can't fight.
I hate you so much. You're scum. You're such a bad person. Fuck me.
You're not even good enough to fight, like to back up your Israeli friends. You're not even man enough to say, oh yeah, I will die for your Israeli friends. You like I would say I will die for the Palestinians, but you would not say you would die for the Israelis.
You can keep talking.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You're not man enough to.
I need to ask you. Did you just say you'll die for a Palestinian?
For the cause, I say I would say I would support.
Well, I'm Palestinian. Can you die for the cause right now?
why don't you suck your mommy's dick, you fucking Mossab Hassan? Like, why are you bringing
Wait,
this Israeli
so you wouldn't die for this? So you wouldn't die for the cause?
No, this guy is an Israeli cocksucker. Go suck an Israeli cock,
Okay,
man.
hold on. Do you speak Arabic? Are you Palestinian? Do you speak Arabic or are you Palestinian? Are you either of those things?
I'm an Arab. Yeah, what's your point?
Arab. تحكي عربي يعني.
No, I don't speak Arabic very clearly, but no.
Wow, very Arab. You're as Arab as Loner is Arab. I'm sorry to say that, Loner.
The Mossad agent is an Arab, so fuck you. So what is your point? You're an Arab. You're a Mossad agent. Yeah.
Am I a Mossad agent because I'm a Palestinian that doesn't agree with you?
No. Okay. Like, let's give you a good test. Okay. So, what is your thoughts on? On the Palestinian lady that was arrested recently because of she's touring around on TikTok? You support her getting arrested?
Teacher? Why would I support her getting arrested? I'm a teacher as well, and I support freedom of speech. And also, she wasn't even celebrating anything or inciting anything. Why would I support that? I even what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago that I came on stream and I shat on it, Loner?
Yeah, you told me about that story. That story was fucked up. Man, give yours a cunt.
Yeah. So how am I supportive of this story that you just mentioned that I brought attention to and pretty much shat on Israel for and shat on Ben Gvir for? So how am I supportive of this? You literally picked the most recent story that I brought attention to. So go on.
The problem with this guy, Sev, is that he struggles to, he thinks that everyone needs to be as extreme and fucking dogmatic as him, so it's very difficult for him to, understand anything that's not that, but yeah.
No, but okay.
Well, I have some friends to actually socialize with you, unlike you, Prometheus. So I'll talk to you later, Loner. Alright, goodbye. What's it? For Israel? Why the fuck would I die for Israel?
Okay, exactly. So at least something at least you have answers. Okay, the Loner box cannot say shit. He says he's not going to fight for Lebanon. He doesn't support Lebanon, the fighters in Lebanon. Or he
doesn't live in Lebanon. I live in Israel, and I still wouldn't die for Israel.
Exactly, but he's not supporting any side though. But he's saying he's being all what do you call it? He's being
wow.
Actually, I fight with my art. Sorry, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. You're fighting with information.
Fighting really hard here.
Okay, listen, Loner, you can have fun with this guy. This guy's clearly retarded or on the mental handicap. You got me. Got me. So much for being pro-Palestinian, huh? You're telling me to go get raped by Israelis. So much for being pro-Palestinian.
I hope they do that to you, man. Because as a Palestinian like you are, I hope you meet your good Israeli friends.
But you didn't even point out. You didn't even point out anything that I did that is anti-Palestinian. You just want to shit on Palestinians now. You're anti-Palestinian.
Okay, I'm shitting on you because you're a fucking liar. And last time, actually, I was arguing with you online. You were making fun of Palestinian kids getting raped. What was that about?
I was making fun. Wait, who are you talking to?
What the fuck was that about? What the fuck was that about, man? Why are you making fun of the Palestinian kids getting raped?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I was on the Discord, and I was trying to bring what do you call it, awareness about of actual rape that was going on in Israel, and about all the kids that are getting arrested and getting raped in Palestine. And you started making fun of me, and other people was also making fun of me. This is how your Discord is.
I make fun of you because a lot of the stuff you say is bullshit.
But are kids getting raped in Israeli prisons? Yes or no? Palestinian kids
sexually abused.
Were raped as well, yeah.
Sexual abuse is an umbrella term. It can include rape, and it can also include other forms of sexual abuse.
But okay, is that okay? What is your point?
What do you mean? Is that okay? Who would say that's okay? Are you stupid?
Yeah. So why the fuck were you making fun of me when I was trying to bring that? So what would you condemn
because
that?
Because you're something that everyone already knows.
And it's not something everybody knows. People are fucking denying on the Loner Box Discord.
Wait, repeat what you said last time.
People were denying on Loner Box's Discord.
People that deny on Loner Box's Discord
denies it's banned, right?
Yeah, it gets banned or gay babied, and gay baby is for people like you who are mentally disabled.
Yeah, mentally disabled. Speaking to a Palestinian who sucks Israeli cock, I'm mentally disabled, man.
Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
You have something, bro. Are you obsessed with Israeli cock? You keep talking about it so much.
Because you're a dog, you're an Israeli dog, at least, or you're.
I'm a Palestinian, but so you hate Palestinians. You don't like Palestinians.
No, I don't like Israeli dogs. That's what I don't like.
Okay, Alright,
What
whatever.
do you think?
That's
What do you
it.
think
Anyway,
Seth should
gotta
do?
go.
What do you think Seth should do to be like not an Israeli dog? What do you think like a true Palestinian would do in living in Israel? Prometheus.
Oh, that is a big question. I'm not going to like. That is a big. I'm not want to get in trouble as well. Like, so I don't. I'm not going to answer that question.
Not a real fighter, I see.
I'm not a real fighter. Who told you I was a fighter? Who told you I was a fighter? I never said I was a
Wait,
fighter.
you're
I
not
told you
gonna
I'm
die
a
for Palestine? Fucking scum! Traitor! Traitor! Traitor to the cause! Alright, anyway,
Cool.
I gotta
Yeah,
go,
look,
Loner.
okay,
Have fun.
maybe like Loner Bucks wind me up a lot, like but saying yeah, like not everybody has to die for Palestine. Like not even I'm not going to look what you call it, fight and die for Palestine. But what I'm trying to say though, at least I'm man enough to say, hey, look, I'm support this side, and I don't support the other side.
No, well, the difference
He
is
said-
that I don't really support any like action that involves just a bunch of Arabs throwing themselves at the biggest, baddest military in the region with no fucking
Well,
objectives,
then
and
go ahead and say,
putting
I
their
support
civilians
Israel.
like
Then go ahead
in
and
front
say,
of
I
them
support Israel.
when they get
Then
counterattacked.
go
Yeah.
ahead and- Then go ahead and say, I support Israel, and say to the Lebanese people, hey, I want you guys to fight with Israel. I want you to join up with Israel like you did it back in the days with the South Lebanese army with the Phalangists.
Again,
and
you're
then
a
fight
black and
Hezbollah.
white. You're black and white. I know you can't see outside of black and white. No, I don't think it's a good idea for Lebanese Christians to join the IDF and fight with fucking Hezbollah. Because I would like Lebanon to come out of this war as a fucking functional, multicultural nation. That's probably not going to work if a bunch of armed Christians just started fucking murdering Shias, okay? I don't think the answer is to have one militia replace another one, you fucking retard. Stop. Why do you think that? Why do you think there's like this fucking balance where, oh, well, you don't agree with me, so you must be on this other extreme end of the. No, most people are not like extreme on one side or the other. Sorry.
Yeah, the best thing to do
Okay,
is to sit on street
I have
and
a
talk
question
about
for you.
Chinese.
Okay, I have a
What-
question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The question is pretty fucking simple. It's about Syria. Do you think Assad has gassed the civilians? It's really
It's
simple.
only ask questions. I don't know. Actually, like, let me tell you, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't-
You don't know. You don't
don't
know
know.
about that.
I got a
You really
question.
don't know.
I don't have all the-
Is he just
Okay,
telling
I'm
you
not-
who debated you
Thank
and
you.
first?
Thank you for answering.
The whole Ukrainian
I don't
Russian
know.
shit.
Exactly. Hey,
Are you were?
who's next? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. What do you want to say?
You're that guy? Holy shit.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
I'm just a guy chilling around, chilling.
Okay.
Just gotta say that like your Ukrainian Russian shit is pretty dog shit. Too much shit. It's pretty ass, you know. A person
Okay, so what do you think? Okay, do you think I'm worse, or do you think what do you call Loner Box is worse to hanging out with a guy that says Western culture is better than Arab culture, and he's the best friend with that, and like who like and he hangs out with people like that says death to Arabs. He goes hangs out with them, and
Who
when
to
I
hang out with
invited
that
him
said
to go
death
to
to
Lebanon,
Arabs?
huh?
Who to hang out with that said death to Arabs?
The Israelis. Who?
Which
You go
Israeli did I hang out
Israelis.
with who says death to Arabs?
You go to Israel. That's what I'm trying to say, man. You go to the
Wait,
Israelis
okay,
in general.
so no, you can't name one. You don't know a single Israeli I hang out with who says death to Arabs. You just made that up. You completely fabricated that. Why are you such a liar? Why are you so dishonest? What's wrong with you?
No, look, I'm
If
pretty
my
sure the
positions are
guy
so
that-
horrible to you, you should be able to just present them accurately and attack me.
That's what I'm doing. Anyway, even when I asked
Oh,
you to
yeah,
come to Lebanon,
clearly.
why didn't you come to Lebanon when I invited you to come to Lebanon?
What, to hang out with you?
To interview the Lebanese people and how they feel about the war.
Why would I go to Lebanon with
Israel
you?
and-
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What
You don't have
what
to
standard?
go-
Should I just go? Sorry, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go find some random creator. Who's a random creator who I've never interacted with? I'm gonna start calling out Jake Newfield. Who's this guy? I'm gonna call this guy the fuck out for not coming to Tenerife with me to get shots. What the fuck's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you? You go to Israel, you don't go to Lebanon, your home country, and interview the people. You don't even get. You go around to Israel and say like, and then glaze
Well, I was
them up.
invited to
and then-
Israel. Okay, I don't
and
really
you
have
like-
the. I'm not really in a position where I can just go and like self-fund a bunch of fucking media projects around the world. Okay, I was I was
You might
invited to
come in
Israel.
Lebanon, my guy.
Huh?
You don't. You have family in Lebanon. You can't fly to fucking Lebanon and interview people over there. Fuckface, man. You're like.
I'm sure it would be. I'm sure it'd be much easier for me to do that if Lebanon actually had a bit more fucking free speech without Hezbollah arresting people because they think they're collaborating with Israel. Yeah, I'm probably as long as those fucking fascist fundamentalist psychos are hanging around, I'm probably and arresting people who they think are like betraying them and shit. I'm probably not going to be hanging around in Lebanon like doing media projects anytime soon. No, sorry.
No, you're not doing media project because you know you're getting paid by the Israelis and you're a shill. And what do you call it? And
Why
you're
would I
working
get
for the
paid by
Israelis.
why would I get paid by the Israelis to like shit on Israel? You realize that when I was there, like quite a lot of what we did was shitting on Israel. You think Israelis would pay me to go and hang out in the West Bank with Palestinians and listen to their side of the story when it came to IDF raids and shit? You think the Israeli government would pay for that? No, exactly. You're fucking like you're so full of shit. You know that's not true. You just made that up again. You're like relying on. You think there might be one person in this chat with a lower IQ than you who would fall for that bullshit. But yeah,
At least Mossab Hassan and Tommy Robbins are better than you. At least they admit they love their love for Israel and they say they will fight and die for Israel. You don't. That's why you're
damn, so
lesser
you have
than
more.
them.
You have more respect for someone who like actually does want to kill a bunch of Muslims than someone who doesn't. That's crazy. I know that. Yeah, I know why you respect someone like Tommy Robinson because he kind of like wants to kill Arabs just as much as you do. You just want them to die like because of counterattacks, whereas Tommy Robinson probably wants to fire the first shot. That's the only difference between you and Tommy Robinson. You both want lots of Arabs and Muslims to die. Just you want them to die in different ways. So, yeah. So I can see why you and him would get along. You know. Why didn't you go Lebanon with him?
I'd rather have a real enemy than a fake friend.
Damn.
I never pretended to be a friend of yours, by the way. I am not a friend of like Hezbollah or any of the fucking retards that you support. But anyway.
And you're a leftist that try to look at that like they just go mouths off about fucking trannies, man, and tranny cocks, man. Why don't you go suck a tranny cock, man?
Whoa,
have you tried it?
bro?
Holy shit, dude.
Why
are you so obsessed with people's dicks? Like it's always why is it that like homophobes always have the most impressive fucking gaydar? I've always wondered that. Anyway.
You're not
why do people who hate gays talk about fucking sucking dicks so much? It's so weird. What the fuck?
Bro, I know you tried dick for a long time, but like goddamn.
Hold up. Because Ronald Box, like his biggest shtick before this happened was harping on the tranny stuff.
You know, like transphobes are like they do this thing where they get caught with trans porn on their computer, or maybe there's one time when they're like when they're nutting to someone and then they realize that they're trans and then they have this like huge crisis and they have to Google search whether or not it makes them gay and shit. Is that you?
No, that's not me. But anyway. But what I want to say though, but are you a true ally of a trans, or because you have to suck a trans cock, to be a true ally?
Is that what being an ally is? Do you have to suck fucking Hezbollah dick to be an ally of theirs? That's what I thought. That's a really fucking retarded question. Like, why would you even ask me that? Oh my God.
No, because there's a tranny. It's also be about sex. So how can you So you're just a grifter. You're just grifting because of the tranny stuff. You're not a real ally. You never slept with a tranny before.
Bro,
how do you know that?
Bro, what the fuck?
Not that it's fucking relevant. I mean, if you want to know stuff about my sex life, I'll answer like one or two questions if you really care that much. I don't know why you do.
Okay,
but...
Have you slept with a tranny before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I wouldn't call them that, but it's. I get what you're trying to say.
I have to go soon, but I have this quick question to our.
You're gonna put that in the fucking wank bank, are you?
This is your guy, okay? This is who the people you support, right? A tranny guy.
We got him. We got him. He's had sexual relations with trans people. We got him. Clip it and ship it. Bro, no one cares. Stop. The only person who's been thinking about trans dick in the beginning of the conversation was you. I don't know why. No one else in chat was thinking about trans dicks until you brought it up. I don't know why. You introduced that to the conversation.
Because of you. You're always like before
your
this happened.
All you is love for Hezbollah and trans dicks. Sorry, someone else can.
Bro, you're a Hezbollah glazer, bro. Holy shit.
And they're man enough, they're 10 times the man of loner box.
Yeah. Okay. So listen,
know.
man. If you're a big fan of Hezbollah, can you tell me why did Hezbollah kill Samir Qasir in Lebanon, who was a leftist and a very pro-Palestinian activist?
Ooh.
Of course, you don't know who he is. Of course, you don't, because you don't know anything about the Arab world. You don't know anything about besides Twitter threads you read by Europeans who are talking about the Arab world. You know nothing about what's happening in the Arab world. You were talking about Idlib before, and you know nothing about what's happening in Idlib. You don't know even when Hezbollah got into Syria.
I know the people that went to Idlib, man. The fuck do you mean? I was in prison with the people that were sent into
With
Idlib,
who?
man. The
With
fuck do you
who?
mean?
With who?
Huh?
With
I
who?
was in prison with Jamaat al-Nusra and Dawlat al-Islam.
Okay. And you know that Idlib is now under, like, it's divided between more than one part. It's not only Al Nusra. And when you were talking that people were celebrating because they are Nusra, they were celebrating the death of Hezbollah. So why didn't they celebrate the death of Ismail Haniyeh? Why? Because their enemy is Hezbollah. All the enemy of all the Syrian people is Hezbollah. Even in France, even in Europe, every Syrian opposition member was celebrating the death of Hezbollah.
I'm telling you, man, you're a Jewish dog, man. Like you want to fight Shias and stuff.
Of course, yeah, sure. Tell the Sunni who was massacred. Tell the Syrian Sunni who saw his people getting massacred by the Shiite Iranian that he's a Jewish. Yeah, great point, man. Great point.
Yeah, like you support, like, because you wouldn't say, like, don't start fight with the Shias. Like, I mean, like, what is your problem with the Shias anyway? What is your fucking problem with the
I don't
Shias,
have a
man?
problem with the Shia. Why did the Shia militia come to Syria? Why did they call for jihad in Syria?Hy did they call the Pakistanis and the Afghani Shia to Syria? Why?
Because, like, Timber Sycamore, you know Operation Timber Sycamore?
No, I don't know what the fuck.
The CIA funded Operation
yes,
Timber
the CIA funded operation. So Iranians sent Shia to Syria because it's the CIA funding operation. Okay, that's a great point.
Yeah, exactly. So if CIA is funding like what do you call fighters to fight, like to take down Bashar al-Assad and also like also Mossad as well.
Who did they fund? You know what? Do you know when the strikes start to happen in Syria? Do you know when people start protesting? Who did that?
Like, fuck you and your CIA.
The children in Daraa that were tortured and died in prisons? Did CIA fund the children in Daraa?
No, but anyway,
Yeah, you don't know where that is. You don't know when the Syrian revolution started. You don't know. You don't know anything about the Arab world. Well, I have to leave it. I just wanted to show this man that he's not Arab. He doesn't know anything about the Arab world, and I'm not thinking about Syria and Lebanon and Palestine if he doesn't know anything about it.
Well, shut the fuck up, man.
Go shut up, people. Have fun.
No, to La Lake, fan.
You know, like.
Sorry, I was just in a fight. I was just doing a bit of a fight. You should see the other guy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Just doing
You're
some
an
fighting.
unhinged guy.
Okay.
I'm unhinged. Like, I'm supporting CIA dogs.
Sorry,
and,
I'm done having a fucking.
Yeah,
okay, wait, hang on. Okay. There was a really good game of who's more Arab. Okay, that was fun. Okay, shit. Promethea, okay. I know you're probably just going to give an incoherent, emotional fucking screed, but you can do it if you want to, and then we go. Okay. Right.
All right, yeah. Look, so like my ending pros. Okay, yeah. So.
Okay, I banned him. Jesus Christ.
All right, cool. All right, chat. He's a dumbass. All right. And yeah, pretty much. I'm out.
That was not responsible platforming. But since you fucking animals seem to be so entertained by it, look at this chat. Great. Wow. All fucking peepo types, all of you. Okay. I think you liked it when he repeatedly said Israeli dogs because you copied him. What did I say about? Okay. What? Okay. No drama. No drama, guys. No drama. No drama. I think that guy's like bad news. I think he's actually. I think it might be a little bit dangerous talking to him. Okay. Right. Right. We gotta no drama, guys. Stop giving me drama. Why don't you just get a restraining order? I don't know if he's done enough to get me a restraining order. Especially if I. Oh no. Especially if I'm out here like, yeah, I mean, I took him on my stream and berated him for an hour and a half. But that was the last one, I promise. Now I want to be left alone, okay? I know. A good question would have been asking him if he supports the resistance even after a two-state solution. I'm sure that would have been, yeah, I'm sure if I said that, he would have been like, oh, well, I suppose if you asked, now that you've asked me, you present me with such a stimulating question, it has forced me to recalibrate my thoughts and engage critically with the content. Like, yeah, that's what would have happened? Okay. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's how it would have played out. The fuck is this? Did another tanky just join the Discord? Simpology. Oh, I know who this person is. I know this person. I know this person. All right. We'll see. Anyway, I'm busy. The Soleimani replacement is being tortured by the IRGC now. Great. Why? Is he suspected of being the mole, the rat? Well, I wouldn't want to be in his position. I would not want to be the guy who Hezbollah thought had betrayed them. Oh, God. That would be fucking cringe. Anyway. Fast and Bulbous, thanks for $5. Cinema. Okay. Wow. Gavin Eidman, thanks for tier 1 sub. Mark Tech, thanks for the €11.99. Brilliant entertainment. I needed that today. Thanks. Okay. Tim R, thanks for the $5. This guy is weirdly obsessed with dogs and it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, you know, these middle class American suburban women. Anyway. That was total slop. What's this? Apparently there are Israeli ministers who are talking about Greater Israel now. Like Mr. Smotrich. Oh yeah, I remember seeing a bit of this. He did a documentary. Little by little, what, Jordan, bro? Again, Israelis, all of you guys in chat, okay? I fear for you. You need to get these guys out of your fucking government, okay? It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. You need a first past the post system or something until you can figure out what the hell is going on. Jerusalem would extend to Damascus and Syria. Hey! He had no seats in recent polls. Yeah, well. You guys keep saying, oh, don't worry, you know, these guys will get out soon. But it's, I'm sorry, I thought the whole idea was that the Israelis were more right-wing after October 7th. Isn't that the case? Are you guys going to suddenly fucking liberalize? If Smotrich was a Palestinian leader, would he be considered a moderate? Bro, which Palestinians want to take parts of fucking Syria? What? One time I saw one of those maps, River to the Sea map, but it included the Golan, but it had a Palestinian flag in it. And I was like, okay, that's silly. But otherwise, you need to get this guy out of your fucking government. It's too much. I think his party gets like 10% of the vote or something. It's not peanuts. In Paris, he used a map that included Jordan. He said that it was because of hatred. Oh God. Whew. Okay. Well, good luck with that. Good luck, Israel. Okay. Implications of Hezbollah's involvement in Syria. Politics and security. Hezbollah's acknowledgement of and justification for its involvement in Syria has had important consequences on Hezbollah's standing within Lebanon, as well as on security and stability within the country. Nasrallah continues to portray Hezbollah's involvement in Syria as a confrontation with Israel, the West, and Sunni extremists. Okay. Politics and security in Lebanon. All right. Whoa. In Syria as a confrontation with Israel, the West, and Sunni extremists. The Syrian regime is not only the backbone of the resistance, he argues, but it is also the front line in the defense against the spread of Sunni extremism into Lebanon. Okay. Fear of Sunni extremism spread into Lebanon. The justification has bolstered enthusiasm for involvement in Syria amongst many of Hezbollah's supporters in Lebanon. Support for Hezbollah is especially high in the group's Bekaa Valley strongholds because they are often the targets of rebel rocket attacks fired from across the border. Okay. Largely, yeah, Destiny did debate that guy, as did Dylan Burns. Largely popular in the Bekaa. They are often the targets of rebel rocket attacks from across the border. More affluent and educated residents of Beirut have been more skeptical of Hezbollah's involvement in Syria. I feel like this is not the most well-worded piece, but okay. There's like a lot of unnecessary repetition of words. Okay. Short stream, guys. Short stream. Let's keep chugging. People are going to enjoy that. That debate's going to do well in the algorithm, I think, because of you fucking. This is the kind of horse shit that the animals want. Okay. Opposition is greatest with Lebanon's Sunni community, which view Hezbollah as choosing sides in sectarian conflict, killing fellow Muslims, and losing sight of its resistance to Israel. Okay. opposition from Lebanese Sunnis. Salafism and support for al-Qaeda-linked rebel groups has increased in Lebanon's Palestinian refugee camps, namely Ain el-Hilwa. Oh. Increased support for... Relations between Hezbollah and Hamas, which were traditionally strong due to both groups' opposition to Israel, became especially strained following Al-Qusayr. Rumors even circulated that Hezbollah had asked Hamas to leave Lebanon, though Hamas denied this was true. Hamas did acknowledge in May 2013 that Iran had cut its funding over its support for rebels in Syria. That's true. That's true, yeah. Hamas had to U-turn to get their support back from Syria. This is why Hezbollah's connections to Iran are a lot more entrenched than Hamas's. This is why that's why he's the contractor analogy for Hamas. Sorry, I'm so gross. Okay. All right. Iran had cut funding from Hamas over their support for rebels, and I'm pretty sure, did Hamas reverse this position to get their funding back? I think that's how it went. Nasrallah sought to shore up support among Hezbollah's base while answering his critics in a speech on August 2nd, 2013, saying his organization had not lost sight of its resistance against Israel. Around the time of the speech, Hezbollah and Hamas began a rapprochement indicating that their shared objectives towards Israel have taken precedence over the conflict in Syria. On the whole, Hezbollah's core constituency remains supportive of the group's activities in Syria, but a prolonged struggle and increased casualties may erode some backing for these efforts. Growing sectarian tensions have directly impacted security and stability in Lebanon. There have been a series of attacks against Hezbollah strongholds since the group expanded its involvement in Syria in May. 2 rockets struck the Dahia in southern Beirut on May 26, 2013, a day after Nasrallah declared his group's full commitment to the fight in Syria. Damn. Strikes in Dahia. Six. One day after for Assad. A car bomb detonated in Dahia in mid-July, wounding more than 50. The largest attack occurred on August 15, 2013, when a car bomb detonated in a Hezbollah neighborhood of Beirut, killing 18 people and wounding nearly 300 more. Car bombs in mid to late. Car bombs also struck the Iranian embassy and the Chatah neighborhood in southern Beirut in November and December, respectively. In the wake of these incidents, Hezbollah tightened security in its strongholds along with assistance from Lebanese security forces, but the attacks persisted. In early 2014, car bombs against Hezbollah and Iranian targets continued to escalate. In the first 2 months of 2014, 4 car bombs targeted Hezbollah strongholds in the Dahia and Hermel. On February 19, 2014, a twin suicide car bomb attack struck the Iranian Cultural Center and an army checkpoint in the southern suburbs of Beirut, killing 6 and injuring 129 people. Escalated car bombs. I remember this because one of these car bombings happened just very shortly before the Bataclan attacks. The Bekaa Valley is another area impacted by spillover from Syria. Tit-for-tat violence between Shia and Sunni areas has been common over the last 12 months. Anti-regime fighters have fired rockets from Syria that have targeted Hermel, a Shia village in Bekaa, where Hezbollah enjoys support since the spring of 2013. Residents of Hermel have retaliated with attacks against Arsal, a predominantly Sunni village in Bekaa that is a bastion of rebel support. Militants in Arsal have also launched attacks on Lebanese army soldiers in the area. The Syrian regime has also launched cross-border air attacks on the town, which has prompted retaliatory fire from the Lebanese army. Elsewhere in Syria, the conflict in Syria has also worsened. See this. Elsewhere in Syria, the conflict in Syria, like whoever the fuck wrote this, like you don't need to. We know which countries you're talking about, okay? I know we're white in here. We're all white. We're all very white. But you don't need to drill it in this hard, okay? Come on. Elsewhere in Syria, the conflict has also worsened the sectarian fighting that has long raged in Tripoli and led to a violent confrontation in the southern city of Sidon between supporters of a Salafist cleric, Ahmad al-Assir, and Hezbollah supporters. The Lebanese army intervened to stop the fighting in late June 2013, losing a dozen soldiers in the clashes. Attacks against Hezbollah strongholds in Lebanon have increased fears of spillover in Lebanon, and the bombings have made the threat of Sunni extremism even greater reality. They have not, however, seemed to undermine Hezbollah's resolve to fight in Syria, at least for now. Hezbollah remains committed to fighting in Syria, and this calculus is unlikely to change on account of this threat unless there is an increase in the frequency or lethality of attacks in Lebanon, or high casualties in Syria undermine its domestic support. Syria and the Axis, I see. The results of Hezbollah's commitment to Syria are especially evident on the ground. Hezbollah and Iran's deepening commitment in 2013 was essential for the reversal of the Assad regime's fortunes. It is unlikely that Syrian forces would have been able to make the gains it did in Qusayr, Homs, Kalamun, and Damascus without Hezbollah's expertise and numbers. Aside from its combat role, Hezbollah's involvement in training the NDF has enabled the regime to bring larger and more effective fighters to bear in the fight. Hezbollah has proven its value as an increasingly deployable asset for Iran, which can also be used to train up additional resistance forces, such as Iraqi Shia militants that could be brought to bear for future conflicts. Hezbollah's involvement in Syria has deepened the relationship between the Axis of Resistance members and represents a continued convergence of strategic objectives regionally. At the same time, the partnership is becoming more uneven as a result of the conflict in Syria. Assad regime owes a great deal to Iran and Syria and will likely be less of an independent actor moving forward as it has in the past. Okay, that wasn't really that helpful for notes, but okay, why not? As a fighting force. Whoa. The conflict in Syria has affected Hezbollah's military arm positively and negatively. Hezbollah fighters are gaining valuable combat experience in Syria. They have employed the tactics they have trained on over the past few years with an eye towards the next conflict with Israel. Hezbollah now has a cadre of fighters that has experience conducting offensive operations in urban environment, and the rotation of fighters into Syria has given its newer recruits or reservists experience on the battlefield. Moreover, Hezbollah units have also gained experience coordinating with allied forces in combat, as well as logistical sustainment over longer periods. There are several drawbacks of its prolonged commitment to Syria. First, the fighting in Syria diverts attention and resources from its focus on resistance against Israel. If a conflict were to break out along Lebanon's southern border, Hezbollah may be in a difficult position of having to recall fighters from Syria. That said, the organization has taken mitigating steps by increasing the recruitment and training of fighters. Recruitment and training of fighters in case of hostilities along the southern border. In the event of a broadening of the conflict, Hezbollah would also likely mobilize a large portion of its reserve force to relieve the burden, something it threatened to do in the event of a strike on Syria following the August 2013 chemical weapons attacks. Another military drawback of the fighting in Syria is the casualties sustained on the battlefield. The group has lost hundreds of its elite fighters over the last year, with many more likely wounded. Hezbollah's killed in Syria have included veteran military commanders. A number of these individuals had fought against Israeli troops during the 80s and 90s and brought years of combat experience to the conflict in Syria. Still, it is important to note that Hezbollah's casualties are far fewer than those of Syrian military and paramilitary forces, which reportedly number over 50,000. Hundreds of elite fighters lost in Syria, as well as veteran commanders with experience against Israeli troops. Hezbollah's continued commitment to Syria suggests that the group believes the benefits of its involvement outweigh the costs. Wait, that means that the civil war started in, 2011, 2012? That means in like 2 years, they already had 50,000 only Syrian army dead. That's not even counting the rebels, the other groups. That's a pretty high death toll. Fuck. Hmm. Anyway. Okay, where did I get to? There's a question is whether and for how long Hezbollah will sustain its activities. At the time, many observers thought Al-Qusayr represented a new model for Hezbollah's involvement in Syria. Yet, the fact that Al-Qusayr was more of an exception suggests that there are limits to Hezbollah's ability and willingness to operate further afield in Syria. Still, Hezbollah has maintained thousands of deployed fighters for more than 6 months without obvious or significant deleterious effects on the movement. Nor are there indications that Hezbollah plans to significantly decrease its commitment to Syria in the near term. Nasrallah reaffirmed in November 2013 that his organization would stay in Syria as long as the reasons remain. Hezbollah may believe its commitment is sustainable at present levels as long as casualties remain low and the military campaign proves successful. Despite deteriorating security in Lebanon since the beginning of the conflict, Hezbollah has maintained its commitment to its mission in Syria. The movement may also calculate that it will be able to reduce its presence as the size and capability of Syria's military and paramilitary forces grow under Hezbollah and Iran's tutelage. Fuck me. Okay. The Assad regime began 2014 in a much stronger position than a year before. Gains against rebel forces in Damascus and Kalamun solidified the regime's control of the corridor stretching from Damascus to Homs and coastal Syria by March 2014. Such progress would not have been possible without Hezbollah's battlefield contributions over the previous year. Yet, the most important implications of Hezbollah's involvement in Syria are not just limited to the current conflict. The fighting in Syria over the past year has accelerated the creation of a sizable and trained force of Hezbollah, Iranian, Syrian, and Iraqi fighters. The force is now interpretable in ways not previously seen. Hezbollah, the IRGC Quds Force, and the Syrian army have become more experienced not only in joint training and planning, but have also learned how to better operate alongside each other as a unified fighting force. At the same time, Hezbollah has also helped to develop and integrate a cadre of Iranian, Iraqi, and Syrian militia fighters into their operations on a large scale. Iran has also gained valuable lessons in guerrilla warfare that it can integrate into its own doctrine and training. The conflict in Syria, which began as a major test of the axis of resistance, has in fact made it a more integrated and capable fighting force. The ability for Iranian, Hezbollah, and Iraqi fighters to deploy across the borders to conduct sustained operations in varied terrain has given Iran and its allies an important tool by which to advocate their interests. It is for this reason that Hezbollah's role in Syria is such an important development, and one that is no doubt alarming for Hezbollah and Iran's regional rivals. Okay. And then you got the Hezbollah hierarchy here. I imagine everyone here is dead now, right? No shot. I think everyone here dead as fuck by now. And then it's all their footnotes. Well. Good. And this is all just from 2013 to 2014, which means they were busy boys. In that war. I wonder what I'd need to read to finish off the rest of the Civil War, because I guess when ISIS becomes the main player, that would be interesting. Oh. Right. The fuck we doing? Trump supporter threatens me after simple question. Oh, wow. Trump supporter cannot handle this one simple question. Yeah. Okay.
You either have to vote for Kamala or Putin. Who do you choose?
Oh, definitely Putin.
Really? Why?
Absolutely. He's for his people. He is for his people.
Yeah, wow. Putin's values on family and on traditions and, protecting children. It almost sounds like, I'm not a pro-Putin guy.
So you think the country would be better off under a rule like a Kim Jong-un or somebody, or Vladimir Putin?
I love Russia.
You do? Why?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The people are wonderful.
I'm not a fan of Putin, but Kamala is for communism.
This is Fauci, but the mask is a Hitler mustache. Elon Musk. He's so clever.
And taking our whole entire... taking us further down the crap hole.
This is going to be a tough one, but what's your definition of communism? I just want to know.
I believe, it starts off great. I see how people can be attracted to it, like, oh, everybody's even.
Would you rather vote for VP Harris or Vladimir Putin if you had to choose?
I would actually vote for Putin if I had to, for the simple reason, if you understand Marxism and communism, you can work within it. They don't kill business. They don't try to make everybody totally subservient. And if you've noticed, the Soviet Union, we'll call it, or Russia now, has become more capitalistic since the wall fell.
So he's a communist. He's a Marxist without any of the Marxism. Okay, interesting.
It's almost like a trap. Once they get you trapped, you become one of their drones, and it leads to totalitarianism.
Can I give you my point of view, respectfully push back?
I love that.
So when it comes to Vladimir Putin, I'm not a fan of him just because I simply think he is a dictator who spreads disinformation and tries to sway people. So I think on X right now, there is a lot of disinformation that makes people pro-Russia, when in reality, Vladimir Putin hates everything about the West. He hates everything about America. And he is like our enemy to the very core. He invaded Ukraine, which, do you think that his invasion of Ukraine was justified, or?
Well, with Barack Obama and John McCain setting up the biolabs with Victoria Nuland in Ukraine.
Ronald Reagan used to be so ardently anti-Russia, and Russia has always been the...
Did he have I hope he had an answer to that. Where's his answer? We debating the biolabs. Let's go. Come on.
Antithesis of what America stands for. I mean, Russia hates the West. They want to undermine our values. So what does Kamala Harris do that makes her worse than Putin? Genuine question.
Because she's a socialist. She is bordering on dictatorship.
So you can work within Marxism and communism, but not socialism? Vladimir Putin's been trying to invade Ukraine for decades. He's been trying to restore the former Soviet Union, which, by the way, the Soviet Union was actually communist. They were a command economy, so they had communism to the core. And over, he's been trying to invade Ukraine. In 2008, he invaded Georgia. 2014, he invaded Crimea. So it seems like this is a dude who kind of just has imperial ambitions. He's like, hey, I just want to grab land. And my fear, I think he spreads a lot of propaganda online and tricks people into thinking that he's like a good person.
I think we all spread a lot of propaganda. You know, the United States has its fair share of dealing propaganda.
What are your main sources of news?
Okay. I have numerous sources of news, but I don't watch mainstream.
What do you watch? Russia Today?
Russia Today? No, never heard of that.
What do you watch?
Oh, I watch Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino, that's where you get it from. So I want to ask you a few questions.
I don't get my opinions from him, but I believe he's honest.
Can I ask you a few questions? So when Mike Pence...
It's funny how proud people are. But for some reason, when you ask people what media they consume, they're always just like, oh, this person, like, I need to prove myself as an intelligent, informed member of society. It's almost like she knows she's just getting fed like total bullshit. Like, fuck.
In 2021, certified the results. Do you think Mike Pence was in the wrong?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. The vice president has that authority.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
The Constitution does not say that the vice
president is there to make the decision.
So
he
would you
didn't stop the election. He had the authority to send it back to the state.
Okay, so Kamala Harris will be certifying this election. Would you be okay with her making a unilateral decision?
Oh, no, because you know it's going to be for her.
Okay, so why wouldn't Mike Pence's decision have been for his own ticket?
Because he was bought off.
By who?
The deep state.
The deep state. So Mike Pence is bought off. Do you think Bill Barr is bought off?
I'm up in the air with Bill Barr.
He said there was no election fraud at all.
Oh, yes, they did have suspicion of election fraud.
They found nothing, though. How come they found nothing? How come the Republican
governor... They weren't meant to find
Is the governor of Ohio Republican right now?
Yeah, that's...
Well, how come he didn't find anything?
That snake in the grass?
So you think all of these people are rhinos?
Most of them are, yes.
Interesting.
Most of them are.
So everybody that Donald Trump surrounded himself with during his first term has essentially flipped and turned their back on him. People like Mike Pence say we no longer trust him. Bill Barr, Mark Meadows, none of these people want to be in his cabinet.
Mark Meadows.
Oh, Mark Meadows? Does that ever worry you at all? Mark Meadows even said there's no election fraud. He came out and said all of these were lies.
Yeah, okay. We'll see who's going to... No, it doesn't worry me. I know who I voted for. I know I watched the whole thing go down. I saw the people. I said, Trump's going to win this. Oh, no. The fix is in for Hillary. That was in 2016. No, Trump's going to win it. And he did. Because we stood up. We also stood up in 2020.
Thanks for talking.
So,
what's up? What's going on?
Producer, so if you want to talk to him.
I can Thank you, ma'am.
I see you're like after the easy target.
Do you work for the campaign? Oh, well, we've been walking around. It's a democracy where people have their own agency, so if they want to talk to us, they can choose to do that. They don't need you to step in.
I just noticed like you're going for the lady with the face paint.
She wanted to talk to us, and she was more than happy. Is it fair to say that you have more trust for Donald Trump than any other institution in America right now? Do you think that he tells the truth more so than...
I also think, Donald Trump could be controlled opposition.
You think so?
There could be a possibility. I'm not saying he is.
And what issues are most important to you?
The economy, immigration, and really just democracy in general.
You're going after all the crazy Trump supporters. Go after someone who's not a Trump supporter.
In general. You think Trump is there to preserve our democracy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Now Trump sent out this Truth Social post. It says he wants to terminate all rules, laws, and regulations, even those found in the Constitution. What do you think about that?
I think it's garbage.
That he said that, or that he...
No, that the liberals post that.
Oh no, Trump posted it himself.
Okay, yeah. And was there other context around it?
He said that due to the election fraud in 2020, this necessitates a new election, even the termination of rules found in the Constitution.
So do you think there was election fraud?
No.
You don't?
No demonstrable election fraud. Even Bill Barr said no, Mike Pence said no, all 60 courts said no.
Not at all.
Where's your proof?
Where's my proof? I'm just going by what everyone has said, from that.
After the toothy verbally assaulted you earlier.
Oh, thanks for the $25, Speedy Taco. I really appreciate that basic humanitarian aid. I might get some... Fuck, I really want fish and chips, but I'm never really timing it that well. The only good place closes at 8, and it's 10 now. Wait, well, am I gonna have to end stream early so I can buy food from the shop instead of going fast food? Probably. We'll see. Anyway.
Perspective.
But when I look at what everyone said, Trump says there's election fraud, but when people around him, like his closest advisors, people like Mark Meadows, even Mike Pence, even Bill Barr was his attorney general, all these people said, man, you got to stop with this election.
You do Uber Eats, don't you? Nope. I do Deliveroo or Just Eat, but not very often.
Fraud lie, and Trump.
Why is fish and chips so hit and miss? Because it's literally a fucking slab of fish with batter and grease. Of course, it can do it badly. If it's not cooked to go, it's fucking trash, is what it is. Like, there are 2 places in my town that do it well, like that I would go to again. But yeah, and even some of the good ones, they stop being good because they change over, or they change what they order, or they change the process. Fuck.
Doubled down, and only he fired those lawyers and trusted Rudy Giuliani only. So that makes me worry when you say that he's saving democracy. In a way, he did try to subvert democracy.
So, do you think there was any election fraud? No.
So what happened in Georgia is Trump claimed there were 30,000 dead voters, and the Republican governor.
Sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but when they did 3 recounts, and 3 risk-limiting audits, they found 4 dead voters, and they removed all of them. They found 4, so they did 3 recounts. So you bring up a good point, but my problem is all of these different cases. Absolutely, every vote should count.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Donald Trump is disenfranchising people when he tries to make us disillusioned with our institutions.
So let me ask.
Every vote count. Well, yeah, but there wasn't enough votes to change the result. That's why. Yeah, it doesn't really count if you lose by 11,000 votes and you find 4 fraudulent ones. That doesn't really count, unfortunately.
Let me ask you this:
Do you think the last election was stolen?
I think there was a lot of illegal votes.
Can you explain why Hillary Clinton claimed there was fraud in the election prior to that, and claimed that it was a stolen election?
Now that
and
is a
she
good
just
question.
continues to say that today.
That's a good question. So the difference that's a good question. That's a good question. If you want to hop in the interview, you can.
No, we're ready to
then if we can.
don't belong here.
That's a good question. It's America, man. We all
Yeah,
belong.
all good.
So the thing is, Hillary Clinton.
Uncle Sam's being much more friendly than that guy in the corner, isn't he? Damn. And this poor little Zoomer, Adam, he's getting flustered. Oh no. The Cowboys getting to him.
Called Donald Trump and conceded the election and said, hey, I lost the election. Trump, years later, still has not conceded. And also, Hillary never made up lies of massive millions of votes. Hillary never held a ride at the Capitol.
It was a rather unique election, right? Because we had COVID. So it was the first time in U.S. history that they sent out, there were entire states that sent out mass mail-in ballots. And you know that is a very big spot that could be fraud, right?
Yeah,
a very big spot.
They weren't.
Huge spot.
Mail-in ballots are historically secure. Even Trump has voted via mail-in ballot. And the thing is,
that's Trump voted by mail-in ballot. He clearly did. I didn't know that. That just shuts down all the voter fraud shit. Like, oh god.
Donald Trump knew that the election, or that Democrats were going to overwhelmingly vote via mail-in ballot. So he specifically remember when Donald Trump was saying,
He should be asking. He's too assertive. He's an interview. He should be like, personally, I would be like, why did Trump vote by mail-in ballot? That's just. I don't think people know that. I don't think enough people know that Trump voted by mail-in ballot. You gotta drop that bomb.
Don't vote via mail-in ballot. It's going to be rigged.
His kids voted by mail too.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, I think
mail-in. Why were they all? I thought there was a whole ceremonial thing where you cast your ballot at the venue. Why were they all voting mail-in? Is it because they were all in Moscow at the time of the election? I don't know.
Ballots, especially when you're a state and you mail them out to everyone on the voter rolls, even though the voter rolls haven't been vetted. I think that's a very strong case for a possibility that somebody would cheat.
Well, listen, this is America, and a fundamental piece of America is that we are able to have conversations even though we differ. And some people would rather shut down conversations like we live in Russia than allow us to have good conversations because they're anti-American, unpatriotic people.
He's talking about the fucking guzzler.
And really quickly, as I'm sure you can imagine, the coverage coming out of these past few episodes shows you limited access to everything Ground News has to offer, and that is what I use.
He's cool. Why not subscribe to him? He's cool. Good content. Good memes. It's not possible to be aggressive when you're dressed like Uncle Sam. He's doing his best. Okay. Ground News. Damn, I should get some Ground News back. I need to make video essays again. Oh, no way. Fuck that. Fuck that. What's happening with this fucking hurricane? Is it still going? Is there still a hurricane happening? There are countries where you can vote online. There's no way. There's no way that's secure. What? How do you vote online and it's secure? It passed. Oh, is it just the aftermath that people are talking about now? I haven't followed it. I was worried about Miami because I actually know people in Miami, but they were like, they didn't even really get it. It was more Tampa and places like that. Wasn't it really bad though? I heard it was really bad.
Here to speak on behalf of.
Also, this thing with Pierce, I don't think him and Ehud Barak were there at the same time, were
I want you to put your finger on what hurts the most. That in some reason our blood has a different color. That we are a lesser, we have a lesser.
Why is Pierce's fucking blank face part of the intro?
Something of a sort. That we are the children of a lesser god.
You're not lesser people to me. It is a terrorization of the people on the West Bank.
This is a state-sponsored terrorism.
Do you see a future for Hamas in any political role after it?
Wow.
Israel's
And what was Barak saying then?
No, sure they have the same human rights. Every individual Palestinian who will not participate in a barbarian attack against Israel or in some terror attack, they deserve the rights of every human being. I want to make two notes.
Well, this guy was the fucking leading the negotiations at Camp David and Taba.
Heroic fighting, it doesn't work without a strategy. In Israeli, basically,
he was like a big military guy, wasn't he? Like a big decorated military dude, commander in chief.
Spending all that money on a tunnel system from which they can
chief of staff, sorry, IDF chief of staff,
then launch an attack and then hide in the tunnels. Did they not act as a dereliction of duty to their own people? They knew when they did what they did on October the 7th, they knew what Israel would do. They were immediately sentencing to death thousands of their own people. Now, I look at it as dispassionately as I can. I say, why would you do that? Why would you immediately condemn to death thousands, if not tens of thousands of your own people by launching a terror attack on such a scale that Israel would have felt...
What is the Barak accent? It's Israeli.
It had no choice. And they knew that. So Hamas to me, from 2005 onwards, have squandered the money they got. They squandered the opportunity they had. Ooh. They did nothing to enhance the lives of Palestinian people. Would you agree with that?
You asked me about the official position of the State of Palestine. Hamas is a militant group.
Yeah, but would you agree with what I just said?
And I'll tell you all about...
Is there merit to what I just said?
I'll tell you all about our plans and how our plans are being...
You won't comment about Hamas?
This guy is
are being quashed.
Right?
No, about Hamas. Hamas is part of the Palestinian...
Am I wrong? Is really my
point. Hamas is part of the Palestinian people. And at one point, and now today in Cairo, there is a dialogue between Fatah and Hamas. These are the main political
parties. Am I wrong, Ambassador, in what I say?
This guy, they can't really... Yeah, if you're PA or PLO or whatever, you can't say fucking shit about Hamas. Yeah, he's Fatah, yeah. They can't say dick about Hamas. I don't know if it's because of fear or just because of hopes for reconciliation, practicality. Yeah, I don't know exactly why it is for each person, but
I was in Gaza 2 weeks before the 7th of October. I was born in Gaza. I went to visit family. And at that time, I saw that, number one, people think that Gaza is just left for one group. No, the Palestinian government was spending hundreds of millions of dollars every month. So there is the Palestinian government. There is the international community, the UNRWA that Israel is trying to shut down, that has extensive. So Gaza was serviced in a way, despite the very adverse situation, by our government and the UN.
But did Hamas fail
and the international?
I don't know if it's necessarily fear, though. If they feel like they're going to get assassinated by Hamas people in the West Bank, I feel like these guys have enough protection that they can speak out against Hamas. So it's just, I feel like it's maybe a bit more complicated than just that. But I don't know. I've never actually...
has to be a moment of revision at one point, that the Palestinian people have to, and they have the right to ask of groups from them what the cost benefit, of course. But for the time being, Netanyahu, his government, Israel, the military did not allow us to breathe. On the day one, on the 7th, Netanyahu came out and said, I am going to be after the Palestinian people.
You read Olmert's peace plan in the FT. What, like a recent one? What, for Gaza? Did he write a peace plan for the Financial Times? That's a very Ehud Olmert thing to do. They need hope and a plan. 6 days ago. This one. They need hope and a plan. By him and Nasser Al-Kidwa. Who's that? So he co-wrote it. Is this a plan? It's a short plan. Sweet. Short and sweet plan. What? Why is it so short? Wait. Surely a plan would be longer, right? Nasser Al-Kidwa is the former Foreign Affairs Minister of the Palestinian Authority. Party Fatah? He was PLO of the United Nations in 1991 to 2005. Huh. More parts to come. Is this going to be just a reiteration of 2008? I just skimmed it, and I think I got that. Was it 2008 when he offered the thing to Abbas? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Olmert is irrelevant, though, right? He's very irrelevant. Yeah. I mean, he's interesting, but he's they don't give a fuck about him. Okay, on October the 7th, 2023, an earth-shattering new chapter in the history of violent encounters between Palestinians and Israelis took place, launching the most devastating war in the history of our two peoples. Now, 1 year on from that horrific day, too many thousands of people have been killed on both sides. Both sides, the Gaza Strip has been destroyed. Most of its inhabitants have become refugees once again. There are now about 2 million homeless. More than 200,000 Israelis were also displaced, forced to leave their destroyed and burnt homes. Although we have both held official roles serving our people over many years, our professional paths did not cross. Both of us were searching for a partner on the other side of this conflict who we could work with, in mutual respect, to find a breakthrough towards ending the war in Gaza and begin renewed negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority. Our aspiration? An agreement that will put a final end to the violence between our two peoples. We believe that this will lead to the creation of a front of moderate states, including Saudi Arabia and additional Muslim countries, together with the State of Israel and the State of Palestine. This is the way to make our region more stable, more secure, and more prosperous for all. In Israel and Palestine, there is a great propensity for destroying any politician who steps outside of uncomfortable consensus via extreme ridicule and criticism. During wartime, consensus means rallying around the flag, and any swaying from absolute support of the war effort is likened to treason. Any suggestion of a radical change, of course, is viewed as capitulation or granting the other side victory. But the true test of leadership is not blindly following public opinion and guiding your words by polls, but rather determining the best strategic path for your nation's future and presenting it without fear. We, two former leaders who have served our people faithfully for decades, have come together with a shared vision and a proposal that challenges our tragic reality. We believe it has the potential to change our nations, our region, and in fact, the world. We begin with the very basics. The war in Gaza must end. The Israeli hostages held in Hamas captivity must be returned to their families. Israel will have to release the agreed number of Palestinian prisoners and must withdraw from Gaza. The Palestinians must create a new, responsible, and legitimate entity there, which will not be composed of politicians from any of the Palestinian factions. It should be organically linked to the Palestinian Authority, but independent enough to gain the acceptance of the Palestinian community, people, Arab neighbors, and the international community. A sustainable Israeli-Palestinian peace must be based on the existence of the states of Israel and Palestine, living side by side on the basis of the June 1967 borders. We agree that 4.4% of the West Bank, where the main Israeli settlement blocks exist, including the Jerusalem area, should be annexed to Israel in exchange for an equal size of territory from within Israel that should be annexed to the state of Palestine. This is necessary to accommodate realities on the ground that are too difficult to reverse. The heart of the conflict is Jerusalem. For this, we propose a plan that removes the old city of Jerusalem, the center of the religious sites, from the exclusive sovereign control of Israel and Palestine. Instead, it would be administered by a trusteeship of 5 states, of which Israel and Palestine are part. While our plan addresses all of the core issues, it does not tackle all of the details. Instead, we agree on the contours that genuine Israeli-Palestinian peace must be based upon. In the not-too-distant future, a new generation of Israeli and Palestinian leaders must have the task of negotiating and transforming that vision into reality. As part of our commitment, we are now investing our time and effort to generate support for our proposal from the Israeli and Palestinian peoples and political leaders in the region and beyond. It is an unavoidable truth that this conflict must be resolved diplomatically if we are to create a course for a different tomorrow. In our minds, this is not just a document, but a living vision of a different future for Israel, Palestine, and the world. In a period of such frightening darkness, we choose to shine a light of hope on the path that our two peoples must now take. It's just 2008 again, isn't it? Like they don't even mention refugees. We agreed to disagree on that one. We can sort it out later as equals. Who knows? What a funny, what a funny article. I'm surprised how long did Olmert spend looking for a PLO person to write this article with him? Fuck knows. Okay, guys, no drama, no nonsense. No bullshit. Oh. Is there any there's not really that much going on in terms of online craziness right now. I don't even think I've seen a Hassan clip for like 3 days. Can we watch the Howard Stern Kamala Harris interview? That would be good. I would like to watch that. The Taliban dude was Kino Convo. Yeah, but it's also trash and not very. I know it's entertaining at the end of the day, but
Mr. President, what did Prime Minister Netanyahu tell you about his plans relating to retaliation?
He's coming over to help with the storm.
Mr. President,
what? Okay. Listen, chat, fuck you. I need to go. I need to go get my food from the shop before it closes. Oh. My notifications. People are still selling my Mandela shit. Did I say this on October 8th? Bro, I said this on October 8th. Get on it. Mandela. Violence. Charlatan. Okay. Okay. They don't have DoorDash in Scotland? They do, but I don't want to buy my fucking DoorDash every day. Like, God. I've already had DoorDash this month. No, wait, have I? It's October 10th. No, I had it in September. It's possible. Yeah. Is it probable? Fuck. You're a streamer, you're supposed to live off DoorDash? Poor. It's not a poor thing. It's just like not wanting to get into a habit of doing it all the time. But we've got another upload coming up soon. Another Ryan Macbeth react. The second. He never responded to my email, so maybe he's busy. Which is a shame. I would have liked an answer to that question, but I guess we'll never know. This is why I'll never be cool as XQC. What? Like... Whatever. Whatever! What question did you ask him? Oh, I asked him why he thought 100 top Hezbollah guys died in the Nasrallah strike. I never saw any verification for that. I don't know where you got that number from. And it seemed to be dictating his views on proportionality. So, yeah, I just don't know where he got that from. I don't even know what the final count was. The last thing I saw was still the health ministry from Lebanon saying 11 dead, 75 injured. Was that really it? Is that... Did everyone else leave those buildings? I don't know. Anyway. I'm gonna check outside my window for any Taliban activists. And then I'll go out, okay? Security measures. Okay, fuck. Bye. Bye.